doctors. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Restore your bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning hair with the same simple one-day treatment I receive from Dr. Tanya Pauls of Advanced Hair. Your own natural hair begins regrowing the very next day, and your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 720-459-HAIR, AdvancedHair.com.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Door Service. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Over 90,000 five-star reviews don't happen by accident. They happen by putting people first. Fixing your garage doors is what we do. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Door Service today.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver.
You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents the Honorable Judge
But not this game. Not tonight. Tonight, we skate with them. Tonight, we stay with them. And we shut them down because we can. Tonight, we are the greatest hockey team in the world. You were born to be hockey players. Every one of you. And you were meant to be here tonight. This is your time. Their time is done. It's over. Screw them. This is your time.
There we go.
Now go out there and take it.
How about that? We're getting you fired up. It's the easy, like Sunday morning edition of the Dan Jacobs Show, but we're not taking it easy today. We're here to do our part, to rally our beloved Colorado Avalanche to victory tonight in Las Vegas. I decided to take a different approach. Sean Boyd back behind the glass. Sean, how are you, sir?
I'm feeling good, Dan. I'm feeling like the Avs right now. I'm 2 cups of coffee in, so I'm a little geeked up right now, and I feel like I'm desperate for a win just like the Avs.
Yeah. So I was trying to think about how do we approach this show? Do we come in and, just kind of lament what happened the other night? And I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take a different approach because we all know that if the Avalanche don't win tonight, it's likely curtains for their season, and it's another wasted opportunity. And it's going to be I would assume a lot of things are going to happen with the Colorado Avalanche if they don't win tonight and they just don't wind up winning the series. So I said, we all know the score. We all know the skinny. But why do we love sports? We love it because of the drama. We love it because of the stories. We love it because we can get emotionally invested in the teams that we love and we root for. So why don't we just do that today? Now, I'll have plenty of commentary on certain things, and we'll break down the game, of course. But the way I'm thinking of it, Sean Boyd, is this. How cool will it be if the Avalanche actually pull this thing off? You know what I mean? Like, it is going to be awesome.
It's Miracle on Ice-esque, right? So
right.
It's Hallway of Fame-esque.
Yeah, it's I just think it's like you can't have great memories without great comebacks, great stories. I remember like one of my I'm a huge Miami Hurricanes fan, right? No secret. And they've won 5 national championships. They have their share of history. But I got to tell you, probably my favorite game ever watching the Miami Hurricanes was I want to say it was like 2003, but they're facing the Florida Gators. And Brock Berlin is their quarterback. Well, he had transferred from the University of Florida. He was a hot shot coming out of college, and it didn't work out there. They didn't believe in him, and they cast him aside. And Miami goes, I want to say the game was at the Swamp maybe. But anyway, Florida Ron Zook, remember him? He was the head coach at University of Florida because he flirted with, there was, I think, what was it? There was a rumor Mike Shanahan was going to leave. And so Ron Zook was rumored, Mike Shanahan was going to leave for the Florida job, and he didn't take it. And so the University of Florida AD flew from the Centennial Airport to Louisiana to hire Ron Zook. Remember that guy? Well, he was, instead of Mike Shanahan, he became the head coach at the University of Florida. And they laid it on the Miami Hurricanes in the first half with Brock Berlin, their former quarterback, starting for the University of Miami. And it was like 3-4 scores. I remember one of the announcers, I think it was Lynn Swan, maybe, third quarter, they're talking about, maybe time to pull the starters if you're Miami and just get through this game. And I'm like, what are you talking about? There's all this game left. And it was and sometimes I still just watch it. You ever do that, guys? You ever just pull up something on YouTube just to kind of take you back and get you a little pumped up and stuff like that? Like, I'll pull up that game on YouTube because the comeback is amazing. At half, and he goes, we know the storm's coming in the second half. Like he knew the Hurricanes were coming for him, and the Hurricanes did exactly that, and they took him down. It's one of my favorite memories in all of sports. It's the comeback. And so I want to talk about the comeback today. Some of our favorite comebacks of all time. For example, that's probably my favorite comeback of all time, is the Miami Hurricanes coming back against the University of Florida. Now, did it mean a whole lot? No, not really. Neither team won the national championship that year or anything, but it was just an awesome moment as a fan. And so that's what I'm choosing positive. I'm choosing to think to myself, oh my God, this is going to be terrible if they lose tonight. It's over. Another wasted season. I'm not choosing to live in that moment. What I'm choosing, the perspective I'm choosing is, how awesome is it going to be when the Avalanche pull this series out? It's going to go down into Avalanche history, the lore, right? And I'm excited about that.
So, Dan, you're feeling like the glass is still half full. The Avs are right there. They just have to seize their moments when their opportunities come.
They just got to come out on fire, and they're the better team.
Well, they were up on the shot count in last game going into the third period. I think it was like 25-20 when it was late in the empty netter that closed the curtains.
Right. So all gas, no brakes tonight. That's it. Everything's on the line. They're the better team. So like you mentioned, Miracle on Ice-esque. Well, there's a huge difference here. The 1980, you were in no way in the same stratosphere as the Russians, right? And somehow they pulled it out. Here it's different. Like it's not like a Miracle on Ice type upset if the Avalanche pull this thing out. Like the Avalanche are the best team in hockey, right? So they don't have as hard of a road to climb. And of course, it's not just one game. Like the Miracle on Ice was one game, but actually, you know, if you know the story of the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team, it was, you know, they actually came from behind, I think, in every game or almost every game, right? In those Olympics. So just an incredible story. So I'm looking for you guys out of this, either on our new YouTube. Hey, oh my goodness. You know, I'm looking at Sean Boyd.
Yeah, I'm on camera right now because my mic is hot.
You need to get some lighting in there, dog.
Oh, we got to turn on some more lights?
You got to turn on some lights, man. I can't see you.
Oh, man. It's the black fitted cap that's probably, you know, dimming my shine.
Well, that right and there's no lights. The lights aren't on.
We'll get to that in just a minute.
But yeah, experience for the first time yesterday, and which I love because on the YouTube channel, you listeners can interact with each other. Right? Like on the RamosLaw.com text line, it's awesome. You know, it's a big part of the show, and you can have your voice heard. You can get we'll make you famous if you come through with something good on that. But the Shop Honda chat line, like you guys can talk to each other, which was cool, right? But I was thinking, hey, Sean, we have the new YouTube channel, and but we got to get you on there, you know, because you're a self-proclaimed handsome man.
I mean, I'm smooth, and I'm a little rough at the chin right now, but that's okay because it's all right. We have our days. I've been jet setting over the last week with graduations, and you know, it's just been a lot going on. But I'm back in the saddle. And,
so that's you. Were you in Arizona last week?
Yeah, I was definitely taking care of things with my son, man. He just graduated from high school, so
congratulations.
He's on to the next situation.
How do you feel?
I kind of feel dated a little bit, just a taste, right? Because I turned the beloved 40-40 club last week, and I'm sitting there in the Grand Canyon University arena, and I'm like, man, this is where I'm at now. Like my son is about to graduate high school, so it was a little surreal moment. But
yeah, it's surreal.
It feels weird, like the Avs feel weird right now. I didn't really foresee the Avs dropping 2 games at home, creating this sense of desperation, because now they're in an uphill battle based off of historical data that I'm not for sure that Coach Bednard he has the wherewithal and the tools to be able to overcome this adversity.
Yeah, we'll definitely break into that. So, Sean, think about this.
I'm thinking, baby.
And listeners, I want you either on the Shop Honda YouTube chat line. By the way, text line, greatest comebacks or your favorite comeback, right? So I was thinking about some of these. It can be real, it can be fictional. So here's a few. You know what popped in my mind? I don't know why my head.
Because you're traumatized.
I'm traumatized.
You're traumatized like the rest of Bronco country, and you know it.
No, but so for example, the Rocky Balboa, Rocky 3 and Rocky 4, right? Hey, those are great comebacks. I love the Rockies are all about comebacks, right? Like that. Because what was the boxing match? It was Castillo versus Corrales. Diego Corrales gets knocked down 3 times and keeps spitting out his mouthpiece, and the referee is within a whisker of stopping that fight, and he knocks out a guy that's never been down before, in Jose Castillo.
I've got a couple of them, Dan. One was a UFC edition that took place here in Denver, Colorado, at Ball Arena. A gentleman by the name of the Korean Zombie was winning a fight the entire match. The third round happens. He gets through the third round with his eyes closed and knocks the Korean Zombie out.
Oh, wow.
And wins the fight.
Nice. Very nice. Here's a good one, and we'll play a clip from this earlier, but this is funny. They actually use this. So for those of you that are big fans of the show, from time to time I'll go to I'm not big, but I'm a Tony Robbins guy.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, he's a very good motivator.
Yeah, you put in the work to get better at life, right? And we go to some of his conferences, and one of the things they talk about is he tells a couple stories that I love. One is the Sylvester Stallone real life story of him turning down like $250,000 to not star in his own movie, right? Even though he's dead broke and he had to sell his dog. I've told that story many times. I'm not going to go into that right now. But Tony Robbins tells that story. But he also tells the story of Carrie Strug, right? In the 1996 Olympic gymnastics. And we thought she was going to lose her leg. He's like, she's going to lose her leg. And then the energy just explodes. Right, and they win the gold medal, all that stuff. Like, that's a great comeback. Right? So some of these comebacks, the Allies in World War II, a great comeback. Right. So some of your favorite comeback stories to get us, or on the RamosLaw.com text line. Favorite comeback I've seen in person: CSU scoring 17 in the fourth quarter to beat Arkansas at Canvas Stadium in 2018. That's Will in Fort Collins. Well,
I actually made a couple of dollars off of that. That was a good little comeback. You know what? If we're gonna do that, Dan, I don't think there's really any more
problem with that is because I saw that, like I was Googling greatest comebacks, and that's definitely on there. That may be, the greatest one, right? But the problem was it made us all miserable, right? Because we're all, most of us, good citizens of humanity, so to speak, we're feeling some joy or elation, not because we're Falcons fans, but because they were about to stomp out and embarrass the Tom Brady Patriots dynasty.
Right. Yeah. There was dimming the light.
Right. And so we're like, yes, finally, these guys get punched in the face. And then they just keep coming back and coming back and coming back. It was sickening.
Yeah. Matt Ryan is probably still having nightmares, and Arthur Blank, for that matter, still having nightmares about never getting back to a Super Bowl after that. Right. I think Cam Newton is in that same boat where he had the game on the line, game in his hands, made a couple of business decisions that didn't go his way, and he was never able to get back to that pinnacle ever again. And that's where he's sitting today.
Yeah. Well, hey, by the way, this is a good one on the text line. Dustin from Denver writes in, how about when the Broncos beat the Giants this last season?
That was a good comeback.
That comeback is insane.
Yeah, that was a good comeback.
I saw it. It was on the TV here recently, just like the highlights. And, you're looking at the score, like, I don't even remember how many minutes were left, and they're still down double digits. And you're like, this is insane.
In the fourth quarter.
Because you're like, not only are they still down.
I think that was where you seen Bo Nix and that offensive line, they bit down on their mouthpieces, and they found a way to grit out touchdowns. Then the defense came around, got a turnover, couple of balls bounced in the Denver Broncos direction, and that's what you're going to need in order to mount a comeback. Get your rally caps on. Denver, Colorado, all of Colorado. Get your for the Avalanche. I watch them in the press conferences, and they don't look like they have much belief in themselves at this point. Confidence is like it's on mid.
Yeah,
it's on mid today.
Yeah, it's a little bit. By the way, enough with the sports. What's in the smoker? Well, I don't have anything on the smoker.
We're not doing that yet, Dan. Not yet.
But I do have to call out our man Kyle Reese.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
if he's still listening. Let's give it to him.
He's supposed to be smoking ribs like you smoked him in practice all those years ago.
Man, Dan, you can't be bringing that up. I feel like somewhere along the lines, Kyle looks at me. He's like, I can't believe he's over here telling them that he was smoking me back,
because Kyle's admitted, he's like, man, I was 37 years old.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been out there with me.
And John Boyd was like 20.
No, see, and that's the misconception. I was like 29, maybe 30 myself. So I don't know. But nonetheless, he's only a couple years older than me.
So man.
So what, that's the easy way out?
Yeah, because you just grill him. You're just putting heat on him, and you try and get him tender. But, you got to smoke him low and slow, man.
Okay.
That's how you make ribs properly. And he's like, I just didn't feel like it. I didn't have time. I got to come back, this and that. I'm like, hey, man, I got up at 3:30 in the morning last weekend to get up to make sure that the ribs and the brisket and the picanha and the pork and everything I was making for our graduation party last weekend.
Yes.
When you are a dedicated pitmaster, you got to put in the work.
Yeah, I met a dedicated pitmaster yesterday at a graduation party. This dude was like, he was not playing around, man. I mean, bacon wrapped chicken breast, brisket, ribs that was falling off the bone. Like, bruh, it was one of those yesterday.
Dude, we had
before, but
So picanha, it sounds like a fish or something. It's the preferred cut of on the skewer. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
It's delicious. So we made all that, and we cut it up as appetizers, smoked ribs.
Hold the phones.
And what else do we have? Of course, we had brisket, and then, of course, the star of the show, the smoked tenderloin. And so we had so much meat. The next day, after I did this show even, like that night, I look over, we have like a little warming drawer. I'm like, uh-oh. It was still on, and the meat was still inside there. We had so much meat, we forgot about an entire platter of steak that we had chopped up, and sliced up because it was going to be an appetizer. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh, we had Old Country sausage, which was hot links and bratwurst and sausage. Dude, we had it all.
Is this platter still available?
Yeah, I was like, I was tempted because it was like
I'm just saying, man.
all the juices,
HBO.
all the stuff had come out. It was like now it was like simmering in a gravy. I was like, I was tempted to eat some.
That's
of that,
the good stuff.
but I didn't eat it.
It might be a little bit on the unhealthier side, but however,
Yeah,
flavorful.
yeah. Bills Oilers in the playoffs. Great comeback. I was thinking about that. Yeah, that was the Frank Reich game.
Yes, sir.
Phenomenal comeback. Let's see here. What else? Mike from the mean streets of Aurora. Elway in the drive. Yes, fantastic. Elway in the drive.
Would you call the Shador led Buffs? Would you call that one of the best comebacks when they beat
CSU? It was CSU.
CSU where he threw the
TCU. Actually, TCU. TCU's probably. I mean, TCU's got to be.
So Shador's got a couple of comebacks underneath his belt.
Oh, he's got several. I would say that the TCU one, and I was there for that. Me and my guys, Anikin and Hector, we went to Dallas Fort Worth for that.
That was a good game too.
It was a fantastic game. The problem with that game was, so the side of the stadium we were on was in the shade in the first half.
So it was cold.
No, it was good.
Okay.
It was fine.
Okay.
But then at halftime, you could see, remember that movie I Am Legend?
Yes.
When the zombies are waiting and you can see the sunlight moving?
Yes.
And they're waiting for it to get dark so they can come attack. It was that in reverse. Like we're watching the sunlight come up. It's 6 rows away. It's 5 rows away. And eventually it was 0 rows away. And then the entire second half, it was boiling
burning hot. I remember seeing everybody sweating.
Yeah.
Cameraman sweating.
And Coach Prime was out there with his hoodie on. I'm like, what? Is this guy insane? But yeah, that's probably their best comeback. I was also at the CSU comeback. Phenomenal comeback, obviously. But that one's a little tough because
you were supposed to have won that
you were
game.
3 touchdown favorites.
Yeah, you were supposed to win that game.
At home. Like, you never should have been in that position. It's awesome. It was an awesome atmosphere. But, my problem was with Shador after, like total lack of awareness, right? Mm-hmm. One, he was eye gouging in that game. And then, let me go get my sunglasses and watch and make
too much.
Yeah, it was way too much for coming back to win a game that, if you would have lost, it would have been
sky's falling,
program crippling, and that you guys ran your mouth all week long and you made a big drama out of it, and then now all of a sudden you have to come back, I believe in overtime, to win by the skin of your teeth. Like, dude, I don't know. Like, it's a great comeback. It was exciting, but I just had issues with it.
Was that the comeback where he threw it deep in the rain to LeJohntay Webster in the back of the end zone, and or in the front of the end zone, he comes and swoops it from underneath?
I think it was in the front.
See, that's what I'm seeing, like a couple different times where CU was obviously supposed to win. The world wanted them to lose because, everybody loves to see the Buffs lose. That's led by Shador. And you're right, Dan. Let's get to this, right? When Shador is doing the antics and things like that, that's what makes the public be like, hey, we want to see this guy lose, right? So,
right, where he's going over the student section at ASU.
It's too much. That's too much, man. And now, again, I think because of the star power that those guys, Shador, Travis, left behind, the Buffs aren't going to be able to obtain that.
All right. So keep them coming on the Sean Honda chat line on YouTube and also on the RamosLaw.com text line. We got a bunch in there. We'll try and get to as many as we can. But coming up next is Jared Bednar. Did we see him reaching? We were talking about the Miracle on Ice hockey team from 1980. Did we see Avs coach Jared Bednar searching for his Herb Brooks moment? Well, we'll get into that coming up next.
It's the ultimate showdown for a great cause.
Setting up the ultimate gold medal showdown.
On June 11th, Brandon Stokely goes head-to-head with Zach By in 100 Holes for Kids. 100 holes of golf. It's a one-day event all to raise money for Recruiting Classroom, whose mission it is to help kids play sports. Who will raise the most? That's where you come in. Pick your player, make your donation, and help kids win. To support Brandon Stokely, head to StokelyCares.com. To support Zach By, head to ZachCares.com.
DeerTrailMeatCo.com, DeerTrailMeatCo.com. You just heard us talking about all that meat last segment. Here's the beautiful part with DeerTrailMeatCo.com. Those family events like graduations and holidays, they become so much more meaningful with the memories you make because people get so excited about great food. Problem is, nowadays, though, steaks that you used to get I used to get iron steak for $4.99. Here's the deal. You pick your bundle, anywhere from an eighth of a cow all the way up to full cow, quarter cow, half cow, whatever you want in the morning, and it's up to 75% off what you're paying at the grocery store, and that includes steaks. You can afford to eat steak again. Steaks, roast, ground beef, all that good stuff. I want you to check them out. DeerTrailMeatCo.com. That's DeerTrailMeatCo.com.
As a social influencer, my days can be busy. 4 a.m., I hit the gym. 4:32, protein smoothie. 5:08, save time and money bundling my home and auto insurance with Progressive. Wait, if I bundle and save time, what would I do then? And half of my followers are bots.
You could save time and money bundling your home and auto when you switch to Progressive. It's one less thing to worry about during your already busy day. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here, and there's no better time to get your yard looking good, and there's no better way to do it than with Rich Lawn. With the organic-based fertilizer, Rich Lawn Turf Food, you'll get greener grass and build your soil for a beautiful yard. And while you're at it, don't forget to check out Revive to revitalize your lawn for deeper roots and deeper watering. Get Rich Lawn and Revive products at your Home Depot or your local gardening center. With Rich Lawn and Revive products, you'll have your yard ready in no time.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
What's up, everybody? Cecil Lammy here for my friends, SodaDietAndNutrition.com. Listen, 5 years ago, I lost 60 pounds with soda, and I'm never going back. Haven't gained the weight back. Why? Because with soda, I learned how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat. And it's so fantastic to do weight loss the right way. There's no mystery pills. I'm not giving myself a shot, and there's no mystery chemicals that I'm putting into my body. This is knowing real food will bring you real results. And speaking of real, soda got me a real nutritionist, a personalized nutritionist that would work with me one-on-one via text when I had questions, concerned, and just sometimes straight up needed encouragement. Your weight loss journey, you've got a friend, you've got help, and that is Soda. They can be there for you just like they were there for me. I look and feel 10 years younger. I got my confidence back, and right now you can join Soda, and your partner joins for free. That's 2 people. Real accountability for the price of 1. Soda changed my life, and I thank them so much. SodaDietNutrition.com. Call them up 866-800-SODA, because soda is state of the art.
You're listening to the Honorable Judge Dan Jacobs on Denver Sports 104.3 The
The clip here for you. I'm going to give Sean Boyd a second here to get it pulled up. But it's basically, I think this is Jared Bednar's attempt to play Herb Brooks. Now, the problem with this is probably that, Jared Bednar is just a nice guy, and Herb Brooks, at least in his role as the U.S. Olympic team coach, was being a villain on purpose. So remember the scene from the movie?
What the hell's wrong with you? Put your gear on. I said put your gear on.
Doc told me I can't play.
Yeah, I know. You got a bad bruise. You know what? Put your street clothes on, because I got no time for quitters.
Come on, Herb. Nobody's quitting here.
You worry about your own game. Plenty there to keep you busy. Bruise on the leg is a hell of a long way from the heart, you candy ass.
What'd you call me?
You heard me.
You want me to play, huh? Is that what you want?
I want you to be a hockey player!
I am a hockey player! You want me to play on one leg? Huh? I'll play on one leg!
That'll get him going.
Get up!
Oh, yeah.
Will that make you happy?
I'll clean up.
I am a hockey player!
Now, of course, an iconic scene, right? And the great thing, we talked about this, I don't know, like 2 months ago. Obviously, maybe the greatest hockey movie of all time. Foreshadowed that a little bit yesterday. Some people like Slapshot. Some people like Mystery Alaska. Some people like the Mighty Ducks. But probably the greatest hockey movie of all time is Miracle. But the remarkable thing was, though, so they just did a Netflix documentary. I watched it during when the last Olympics, right, was a few months ago. And very accurate, as was that scene, right? Like, I thought you're a hockey player, right? Getting into the psyche of the mind of a hockey player. Like there's nothing worse you can do to a hockey player than to call them out, right? Basically call them soft. And that's what Herb Brooks was doing. And it's famous, right? Well, what we heard, you guys tell me, didn't Jared Bednar in a backhanded way do the same thing when he said this?
Possibly can under tight checking circumstances. They're trying to do the same, right? So like I said, I think it's probably really even. I'd have to look at the numbers. You can check them from different sites, but goal one, they catch a little 3-on-2, we get back, and when we're late, just adjusting to it, and Eichel gets a shot.
All right, so that's actually not we're looking for the other quote. That was the one. I had that on the rundown for yesterday because I was like, dude, is Bednar clueless? Like Bednar sounds just like David Adelman in that clip. Like, oh, I thought we competed. You didn't think we competed? Oh, we just got some bad bounces, blah, blah, blah. Now, at least Bednar was saying, we should have chased down some pucks. It looked like we were going to chase down some pucks. We created our own bad luck. But that quote still kind of rang hollow with this. Well, he's addressing the Cale Makar injury, and it's very Miracle on Ice-esque, is it not?
Coach, they're calling a holding penalty on me every time.
Did I ask for your excuses? You want to act like a star? You better give me a star effort. Do you hear me? Forget about him. Alan, you're in. Come on. All right. Now, I don't want them to gain another yard. You blitz all night. And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure.
All right.
There's urgency to get him back, since he's gotten hurt. But it's going to be Cale's decision on when he's coming back. He's doing all the work he can possibly do to try to get back as fast as he can, and we get word he can play, then that's great. But I don't make that decision for him. But yeah, there's urgency to make sure everyone is in and available, and everyone's playing as well as they possibly can.
All right, so that's the big controversy. Jared Bednar, I don't know that I've ever that may be the most controversial thing he's ever said.
Why so?
Because he's calling out his player, and that's not the type of coach he is.
So you're saying he thinks that Makar can actually play, but he's choosing not to.
That's what he said. He's saying it's up to Cale Makar, right? Just like in that clip in the movie, he talks to the doctor, and the doctor's basically saying, no, that this player can't play, right? And he's like, what do you mean? Is it going to get worse? He's like, no, but it's going to be really painful. He's like, okay. And so the player's like, okay, well, I guess I'm sitting out. And then Herb Brooks is like, hey, dude, the medical staff and the player, they're going to evaluate. And then, I guess technically it's up to the player in certain circumstances. Sometimes it's absolutely not. Sometimes it's the team saying, nope, we're going to hold you out tonight because I think we have a better shot with this player or whatever than you coming on. You could make it worse or whatever. Like for example, how many times maybe I'm wrong and call me out if I'm wrong. I don't remember them ever saying anything like that. Like, well, no, it was patience and it's a long process and they handled him with kid gloves. All out Cale Makar like that is very Jared Bednar like. And because Jared Bednar, honestly, he knows now. Like if this series goes down like this, like if you get spanked by a much inferior team that had to fire their coach during the season and get swept at home. And so, if you go out, if you get swept in the series or you lose 4-1, Bednar, even as cheap as the Cronkies are, Bednar's probably fired. Like he has to know that. Like he's had an incredible run of disappointing embarrassing playoff exits with the most talented team in hockey. He's had a far greater run than most any NHL hockey coach you'll ever see. Like hockey coaches, Bob Hartley got the hook. Like after, I don't even think he didn't get 2 years after he won the cup and he got the hook. Like hockey, they have itchy trigger fingers, but not the Cronkies. So Bednar has to know that the Cronkies have taken enough heat just with the David Adelman fiasco that Bednar's got to go. I choose to see things that never were and say, why not? So why not have some problems? And Jared Bednar knows that. And so that's probably why desperate times call for desperate measures. And that's why you saw him do something you almost maybe never see him do, which was calling out his star defenseman, saying, hey, man, it's up to him when he can get on the ice. I mean, he's trying really hard. By the way, we'll talk about it more in the show. I'm not buying this Cale Makar's sitting out because of his contract type thing. Like they were talking about with Peyton Watson, and then that was debunked. I'm not buying into that. All right, coming up next, want to get into. Oh, I was doing the Avs. I busted my AI again. My AI clone busted again. Plus, don't move in next to Kyle Reese. All that's coming up next.
The Avalanche are in trouble. Colorado drops both games at home and now trails Vegas 2-0 in the Western Conference Finals. The urgency is real, and the Avs need their biggest stars to respond. Nathan McKinnon, Martin Necas, and Brock Nelson have to lead the way as the series heads to Vegas. What's gone wrong for Colorado, and can they flip the momentum before it's too late? Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, Denver's playoff headquarters.
Jacob's Law, 303-LAW-4040. 303-LAW-4040. There's a guy on the text line here that every time I cut a new spot, he goes, hey, that lighthouse spot, it's BS, right? Hey, that spot where you went to the hospital, and that's BS, right? And, it's his shtick now. But he's like, hey, that cousin spot, that Tale of Two Cousins spot that I'm running now, he's like, that's BS, right? And you know what? It actually is a little bit, because I talked to one of the cousins spot. I give the insurance company more credit than they deserve. I said she got $3,000. The other cousin only got $2,000. And the cousin that we represented at 303-LAW-4040, $1.1 million. She's coming into the office for a party next week. Have a nice check for her. And by the way, she's another one of those, not looking to get rich, just looking for help. And when the insurance company was giving her a hard time, she called 303-LAW-4040. That's what we're here for. Go ahead, save that number on your phone. I hope you never need it, but you just never know. Accidents do happen, so save it in your phone, 303-LAW-4040.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Denver at 720-637-9567, 720-637-9567. That's 720-637-9567. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationdenver.com.
What's up, guys? Philip Lindsay here, and summer is already here. Tee times, perfect drives, and enjoying the greens with your family and friends. But if joint pain is holding you back, keeping you off the golf course, discover natural pain-free relief with Regen RX. Their shockwave, stem cell, and PRP therapy could be the key to reclaiming your swing and active golfing life. No surgery, no downtime, and no risk. Right now, they're offering a limited number of consultations. Text PAIN to 303-630-9770 to see if you're a candidate. Don't wait any longer. Go see my friends at Regen RX right now.
Pet owners and parents know the struggle. Every time dogs or kids go outside, they track mud right back in. If you're tired of scrubbing floors, you need Muddy Mat, the anti-mud mat that cleans paws and shoes before they ruin your home. Only Muddy Mat features thousands of ultra-soft microfibers that are 5 times more absorbent than ordinary mats, instantly trapping dirt and water to protect your floors. Put it by every door, under pet bowls, in the kitchen for spills. It even makes a perfect bath mat. And it's 100% machine washable, so cleanup is effortless.
Since getting Muddy Mat, I don't worry about what my dog gets into. His paws are clean the second he steps off.
No more mopping. I love it. Thank you, Muddy Mat.
Right now, get a free medium Muddy Mat with your order of 2 or more mats at buymuddymat.com. This offer is only available at buymuddymat.com. That's BUYMUDDYMAT.com. Don't wait. Get your free Muddy Mat today at buymuddymat.com.
Lowest rate for life. It's our trademarked and most innovative product in the entire mortgage industry. Lock in your savings today, and if rates fall in the future, even as little as 0.5%, we will redo your loan with no lender fees and no appraisal fee. Always have the best rate and maximize your savings. It's only at U.S. Mortgages, and our number says it all. 303-LOW-RATE. That's 303-LOW-RATE, or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. License number 392126.
It's the Honorable Judge Dan Jacobs on Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan.
Is up to her. If she can score 9.493 or better, then she will win the team gold for the USA. She's the last to go. She's the only one who can do it. Oh! Carey is hurt. A 9-7-1-2. She has done it. Carey Strug has won the gold medal for the United States team.
There we go. There we go. Is that getting us fired up? I want to get us fired up for the game today. That's what I'm looking for. I'm choosing to say, yeah, the Avs could lose, and it would be horrible. But you know what? What if they don't? What if they actually pull off one of on the home ice, losing both games at home and coming back to win a series? How about that? Dude, we'll be talking about that for the rest of our lives probably, right? That'll be one of those things. That'll be one of those games, like the Nazem Kadri game, or the Ray Bork game where he says, don't worry, guys, I'll get the next one. Boom, he hammers it home, he gets the next one, right? So this could be the start of Denver sports history. That's what I'm looking at. So we're coming back with some, clips to pump you up. We had to remember the Titans clip, right, where Ryan Gosling, who was a complete liability, quarterback, you've seen that meme, cornerback, right? Because that's the way we are. Like all these women out there, like, oh my God, heart flutter, Ryan Gosling. That speech gets you fired up. Carrie Strug, real life, almost ended. By the way, that moment almost ended my career here at the Fan. I was a young man. I was a senior in high school at the University of Rangeview High School. And I was working the board. It was the 1996 Olympics, I believe in Atlanta. And that moment happened with Carrie Strug. And I just didn't feel, and back then we had sports updates. And so we had to play audio all the time. And it was my job to, any big moments that happened during the Olympics that night, to grab the highlights and have it ready for, the shows the next day. Mike Evans doing updates back then. Well, actually not quite then, but you know what I mean? And I just didn't feel like there was a clean ending to the clip, so I just didn't cut it at all. Can you imagine that, Sean Boyd?
Can't imagine that, because when you're in the producer position, you kind of have to make some executive decisions on your own.
So it was funny. Actually, we had him on a few weeks ago. The executive producer at the time was a guy named Kevin Fallness. And he goes, what were you thinking? He's like, maybe the biggest moment of, I don't know, possibly the last 4 years, and you just didn't think it was important enough? Yeah. Luckily, they had mercy on me. All right, out to the Champ Honda YouTube chat line for Denver Sports 104.3. I like this one. Where is it? Roy. I'll cheer loud tonight. Have my Landy jersey on for all of us. It's some positivity. That's what we're looking for out there. Now, I was going to tell you this. I got to pull it up. This is why all these people are talking about how AI, the Terminators are coming, and I think eventually the Terminators are. I'm just hoping I'm long gone by then, but I don't know. But the Terminators are definitely coming. But people are like panicking about AI and this and that. Well, here's why I'm not scared just yet. So I'm doing research for the show. I'm looking up great comebacks. And so I'm like, what are some of the great comebacks of all time? And let's see what I came up with here. The Ray Bork pressure cooker, Tiger Woods 2019 Masters. People thought injuries ruined him. Scandals ruined him. Broken body. Dominance gone. He wins the 2019 Masters. Kurt Warner, stock and grocery shelves. Arena League. And then Super Bowl champion. Michael Jordan, cut from the varsity as a kid, turns into Michael Jordan, plays baseball, comes back. Things like this, right? Rudy, Rocky Balboa, and then Colorado Avalanche 2001 Western Conference Finals. Perfect local example. Down 3-2 to St. Louis, pressure enormous, then Sakic, Forsberg, Heart of Champions. They survive, then destroy New Jersey in the finals. Remember that? That was Joe Williams' famous Devils in 6. I think it was Avs in 6, which actually happened. But I was thinking, I don't remember that. I don't remember them being down 3-2 to the Blues. So I started pulling up the scores from the Avalanche that year in that series. And, there were some games they won 4-3 in overtime. I'm like, oh, well, maybe they were down 3-2 in the game. So I said, tell me more about the 2001 Western Conference Finals against the Blues. They were definitely not down 3-2 in the series. So you're talking about any particular game? This is because I bust it all the time, particularly with sports. Like, it's just wrong. Like, just makes things up. So it says, yep, you caught me again. I blended together two different Avalanche playoff memories into one hockey soup. The Avalanche were not down 3-2 to the Blues in the 2001 Western Conference Finals because there wasn't a Western Conference Finals against St. Louis in 2001. Here's the actual sequence. 2001 Western Conference Finals, Avalanche versus St. Louis Blues. Avs won 4-1. And honestly, it was more of a heavyweight execution than a comeback. AI. So Sean, you got to be careful.
You definitely got to be careful
with AI, with
artificial
sports,
intelligence.
You cannot just be like, hey, I'm gonna grab a take from AI because it's going to be very likely could be wrong, but it's going to even that. Think about what I just read.
Well, AI is pulling from the sources that you've already searched in your phone, right? So
it's pulling for all sorts of things. But it said this. It says there wasn't a Western Conference Finals against St. Louis in 2001. Here's what actually happened. 2001 Western Conference Finals, Avalanche versus Blues. Dude, it's going loco. It's like the fembots in Austin Powers, man, when they start, their jumblies start exploding. Rundown. Did you hear this, man? Do not get a house next to Kyle Reese.
What happened?
So Kyle and Cello were talking, and somehow they stumble along HOAs. And Cello asked Kyle, hey, would you turn somebody into the HOA? Instantly. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Which means he has.
I cannot believe Kyle would admit to dry snitching. I can't believe it.
You know, there's certain things in society that we just shouldn't. Yes, we have the ability, but we shouldn't be doing it. Maybe AI is one of those. Vaping, for example. Maybe, you know, drugs and alcohol might be an example. Plastics. Like, is there anything?
It's a hall monitor, a home hall monitor in the neighborhood. That's how I look at it.
Well intentioned at the start, not well executed. Like nothing worse than an out of control HOA that just, you know, goes around like the Gestapo. You know, I've been at HOAs where they have a guy that, you know, the HOA police will just go around and look for violations. Like, is that your job? Is it your job?
That's his job after he gets off of work.
Yeah, man, come on. Like, I understand you don't want cars up on blocks and you don't want yellow or purple houses and things like that. You walk by a house, there's a little sign. And I understand you don't let your dog poop on somebody's yard. If they do, like, dude, what do you want me to do if my dog wants to go pee?
Well, your dog is killing my grass and hurting my yard.
Well, that's America. That's
Stay
like
off my lawn.
Well, hey, man, no. If my dog has got to go, my dog's got to go. I'm sorry. That's the way it is. All right, we're done for this hour. Man, that hour flew by. Coming up next, I want to get into, man, Woody Page putting the entire city on blast last night. It's the Dan Jacobs Show.
Summer is calling, and we're sending you to the in everything you need for that perfect lake day. You get 2 paddle boards, 2 chairs, a cooler, pop-up tent, and Bluetooth speaker. Oh, and did we mention you also get a $250 gift card to fill up that cooler? Sports 104.3. The Fan.
If you've ever been in their care, you know the difference they make. We call them nurses, also known as heroes. This is Jay Rickstrew for Alpine Bank, member FDIC. National Nurses Day falls in May. Pause for a moment. They may have been by your side at one point, or with a loved one during an uncertain time. Give thanks for those men and women who work tirelessly, tending to every detail. Small to life-saving. How? A handwritten card will be cherished. Coffee or treats, a thoughtful gesture. You can log on to daisyfoundation.org to nominate a nurse for exceptional care. To the nurses listening to Alpine Bank now, your commitment to helping others has our deepest respect and appreciation. We think of you as heroes. Alpine Bank, committed to Colorado and you.
Hey, Stoke here for ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Summer is coming in hot. Don't wait. Beat the rush with an early bird cooling system tune-up and inspection for only $49 from Rocks Heating and Air. They'll inspect your system and keep you cool when everyone else is scrambling. Call ROX Rocks Heating and Air today and schedule your tune-up before the end of May. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair, ROX, Rocks, Heating and Air.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record. and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
When you decide to sell your home, don't settle for a good agent. Go for a great one. Go for a Weichert agent. A Weichert agent looks at you as a partner, not a transaction, and will work day and night to get you the results you're looking for. And your Weichert agent is backed by the Weichert brand. With over 50 years of experience, Weichert agents have guided thousands of buyers and sellers through every facet of homeownership. Don't settle for good, go for great. Work with a Weichert agent. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Every hunt tells a story. Let Ty's Taxidermy in Loveland bring yours back to life. Big game, birds, fish skin mounts, and reproduction. Expert detail since 2001. Call 970-669-1119 or visit Ty'sTaxidermy.com.
Done right kitchens, baths, counters and floors, finished basements, windows and doors. Our 8% scheduling incentive and bank financing to ask about make a great time to call 800-362-8370 or drhi.com.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here, and you can get a richer looking lawn with Rich Lawn. Using the organic-based fertilizer Rich Lawn Turf Food, you'll get greener grass and build your soil for a beautiful yard. And while you're at it, don't forget to check out Revive, the treatment to revitalize your lawn for deeper roots and deeper watering. Rich Lawn and Revive products are available at Home Depot or your local gardening center. With Rich Lawn and Revive products, you'll have your yard ready in no time.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents the Honorable Judge Dan Jacobs.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Avs have taken the hits. Are they going to get back up? Are they going to get it off the deck and respond? We're doing our part to get you ready for the game tonight. I've chosen to take the positive route and just say, you know what, man? You know, stinking awesome it's going to be when the Avalanche pull this out. You know how heartbroken they're going to be in Sin City when the Colorado Avalanche reclaim the throne as the best team in all of hockey?
I mean, Dan, I got to be honest with you. I love this approach from you. While I'm surprised, I like this optimism.
Would I see? That's like a Zach By compliment. Right, like a backhanded compliment.
I'm not trying to.
What do you mean? Why would you be surprised?
I'm saying
I'm a very positive person.
You've been known to be a curmudgeon over the years.
No. See, you're confusing me with Kyle Reese
and Chad Andrus
Chad Andrus.
That's my guy, though.
Yeah, no, you're confusing me with those guys. You know, the remarkable thing that has happened on this station was for years and years and years, people thought I was a little too harsh on the Broncos because I was calling a spade. You know, when I could see with my own eyes their fortunes were changing, I changed my tune a little bit. But now other guys have jumped on the negative train, the negative Nancy train, and now I'm the positive guy, right?
See, that's like a total 180, man, and that's what there's where the surprise factor comes in, because usually you have a not a pessimistic way of looking at it, just a little bit of a glass half empty.
No, it's a glass that I look right at and I describe perfectly because I'm objective. That's what it is.
Objectivity. I like
objectivity. certainty. And, people don't like that I'm so certain. I'm like AI giving out wrong answers. I'm like really certain when I say something's going to happen. So we'll go to the RamosLaw.com text line. I want to get to this Woody Page article. Talk about the opposite of what we're doing on the Dan Jacobs Show today. The Tulsa Kings at the beginning and his golf cart giving a ticket to Sly. That's from Burt in Broomfield. Then there's a scene in Tulsa scenes where Tulsa Kings where Sylvester Stallone, he's a mobster, did 25 years, and they exile him to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he's this big bad mob murderer guy, and there's a dorky dude on a golf cart running around and keeps giving him HOA tickets. And it ends in kind of a funny way.
A little too seriously at times.
This is how
all the time.
This is why I hate HOA. One of the reasons I hate HOAs. I was a young lawyer, and I was asked to defend this elderly couple. They're up in Boulder. They lived in a trailer park, which they got. There was they had a rent protection, kind of like in New York. And it wasn't like a trashy trailer park. It was very nice. It's up in Boulder. They'd been there for 12 years, and they really loved their home. 12 years earlier, they had asked permission from the HOA to plant these trees. They kind of created some privacy between the two trailers. So you didn't look into each other's trailers. 7 years later, there's a lady looking to move to the and it's that lot based on the trees being there. 3 years later, she goes, I need to take down their trees that they paid a lot of money for, that they had gotten approval for. And so she files an HOA complaint. And HOA's like, guys, you got to take the trees down. And they're like, but first off, like we did this whole scientific thing. My client was an engineer. We proved that it was not affecting the shade at all. We did like a time-lapse photo and all this stuff. And then, we had a Supreme Court jury instruction that says if one party, in this case the HOA, ratifies the behavior, there's no cause of action. And so, I put that on, and my client's like, wow, where'd you get that? I'm like, well, it's from the Supreme Court, blah, blah, blah. The judge, who was one of only 2 judges that year to not be... Judges, here's why I always vote against judges, as a matter of principle. They always get retained no matter what. Well, this year, there were only 2 judges that were not recommended for being retained. One was this judge. She was a terrible judge. And what she did was, she said, well, I understand what the rules say, and I understand the jury instruction, but HOAs have to be able to enforce the rules however they see fit. So she threw out this elderly couple from their rent-controlled home 4 days before Christmas. I was steaming mad. And many times the law, so there's something in the law called public policy, where a court will go, I don't care what the laws are, this or that or the other. As a public policy, it would be bad for us as a society if we allowed this to happen, so we're just going to make up new law as judges. And one of those is HOAs have to be able to do whatever they want. And it's ridiculous. And so based on, what neighbors happen to be on the HOA, I just can't stand it. It drives me crazy.
I concur with you there, brother.
Yeah. By the way, he just types in, you're never going to live this one down, Sean. Orange glazed crinkle fries.
I mean, you folks, you got to listen to me here, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, it doesn't sound good, right? It's fire, but you got to give things a try. It's like you see an avocado or, you see guacamole and you're like, that doesn't really look that tantalizing to me. But once you eat it, it's phenomenal.
You got to live it down, not me. Somebody else on the text line. I have a 120-pound move a Ford F-150 that has teeth. That's from Rob and Parker.
Please, respectfully, just take him down the way to the park and let him do his duty there.
It's called nature. It's called instinct. Like the dog's got to go, the dog's got to go.
See, I've got rocks in my front yard, so that really makes a little bit more difficult for you to be able to do that in my yard.
All right. When will you hold players responsible? The top line hasn't scored a 5-on-5 goal since game 2 of the last series. The coach can't make the shots for them. That's Mike. Very interesting argument, which is funny, which is the exact argument I told James Mayer remake the roster quite a bit. I'm like, dude, you got to hold the players accountable. And I agree with that Is it like actually Gary Barnett said at one time Craig Oakes was his quarterback. It was the year they ended up. It cost them a shot at the national title because they're playing Fresno State early in the season, and Craig Oakes just throws an interception to end the game. And Gary Barnett comes out after the game and says, "Well, it was a good play call. It's just too bad we threw an interception. That's not the way we drew it up," or something along those lines, right? Like we didn't ask to call for him to throw an interception. It's like, how do you coach a guy to not make free throws when the game is on the line, right? Like, there's certain things. How do you coach somebody to not miss a field goal? Like, there's only so much a coach can do. But at the same time, with Bednar, the falling short of expectations is the rule with Jared Bednar. So I understand the players definitely have responsibility here. Like Nathan McKinnon, if he doesn't win another cup, he's going to be remembered in one championship. Same thing with Cale Makar, right? I even put, like Peyton Manning kind of gravy trained into a Super Bowl there at the end, but he's in that category. Like Peyton Manning should have been a hands down number 1 or number 2 quarterback of all time, but he really doesn't get that type of recognition. Like he's everybody thinks he's a great, and he's a GOAT, one of the greatest of all time, but nobody's really talking about Peyton Manning as the greatest, number 1, right? And it's hard. You want to know why? Because Tom Brady's got 7. Why? A lot of times because he played at the same time as Peyton Manning, and Peyton Manning came up short and Tom Brady didn't, right? But I don't know, a lot of people are putting Peyton Manning over like Joe Montana when it's all said and done. I don't know if he's quite done enough yet, but when it's all said and done, I assume Patrick Mahomes will be ahead of Peyton Manning. And it's because Avalanche don't pull off a miracle here, absent them going and getting a coach that will make a difference. Okay? To an article. No, we love Woody Page. He's a legend. Notes Gazette that is posted on their website right now. Front page of the Denver Gazette. And it says this. The Colorado Sharmans would be appropriate. The Avalanche, and by the way, he's putting the whole city on blast. Like the headline is like, the whole town is soft. And I thought, well, he meant everybody, but you're not calling the Broncos soft, are you? And then he goes on to call the Broncos soft too. So here's the article. I want you guys to react to it. Listen to what he had to write, and then we'll respond. The Colorado Sharmans would be appropriate. The Avalanche, the Nuggets, the Broncos, and the lovable Rockies are as soft as a bison's behind. Welcome to the city of has-beens, also-rans, sportswear losers, and beer festival. Denver dreaded representatives before. The most recent dupes are being wiped out. Defeat ahead before a 1-2-3 gone. Coach Jared Bednar, a handsome and charming man, left Ball Arena Friday night with another giveaway to the Knights and a timeout in his expensive suit pocket. It was an upper body injury, which in reality is a separated shoulder damaged by a torrid hit in the previous round of the Wild and lingering pain in the regular season. The consensus among the squeezed-in crowd and the self-proclaimed hockey goobers was that the Avalanche, with a 1-0, did the most stupid soliloquy when he said Makar would make the call about playing in the series. Don't the Avalanche have trainers and doctors and a head coach who might offer decisions about the league's number 1 defender and power play perfectionist? Seems a group judgment would offer a control the center of the rink. The Avs haven't played tough since 2022 when they got the Stanley Cup. This is hockey, not an operetta. The Nuggets won the NBA championship in 2023, but have been softer than an alpaca sweater since. The Nuggets can't win enough without Aaron Gordon any more than the Avalanche without Makar. The teams have the most stunning pair in sports. Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray in basketball, and Nate McKinnon and Makar in hockey, and a nada to show for it in recent years. The Broncos, but man, I don't know if this next part is fair. Lose Bo Nix, lose the Super Bowl. Broncos are just inside linebacker. Well, I don't know. Ask the Giants if they're soft as baby butter. Ask all the guys that got smacked at the end of games if they're soft as baby butter. Ask the opposing quarterbacks that have to face Nick Bonito and Jonathan Cooper and the host of pass rushers from the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, Dan, I go back to that game versus the Cowboys. I never seen the Cowboys look so disgruntled before in my life, and that was probably one of the most sturdiest defensive efforts that you're going to ever see from that Denver Broncos defense.
Page goes on to write, Sean Payton talks a hard game on offense but relies on screen passes and soft throws in the flat. When are the Broncos about to call 8 progressive plays in the rush game? Nobody in the league will criticize the Broncos' punch and Judy 18th century attack on offense, so the Broncos are kept out of the championship game by being a soft team like toilet paper and has no fear when behind by 3, 1, or none. Who looked right at home on Friday night? Not the pliable team with the best dressed coach. I mean, we talked about Bednar's hair yesterday, by the way. That's a problem as well.
Not his suits?
No, suits. He looks good. He's a good, he's like I said, he's charming and this and that, but the hair is ridiculous.
So is it too much hair or is it?
Yeah, he's got too much hair. He's
okay.
like, dude, high and tight.
Cut that up. Okay.
High and tight.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're 50-some years old. You're not a GQ model, and you're fighting the perception of being soft, and you're trying to look like Motley Crue out there. Like, what's going on, man? Lest we forget, the Colorado Rocks Bottoms never will be confused with an MLB adversary that slams into catchers, throws the first punch in a scuffle, and doesn't mind pitches at the chin or the knee. The spineless, quote, new Rocks are too busy trying to steal a base or take a walk. The team originally exploded with 4 players clubbing home runs and a relief pitcher clubbing a guy. The most popular selling product now sold at the ballpark is cotton candy, in tribute to the team on the verge of losing 600 games in 6 seasons. Colorado always claims to be a city of 300 days of sunshine and championship teams. Pray for rain. It's pretty harsh stuff from a GOAT in his own right, Woody Page, of now the Denver Gazette.
So Woody's obviously, he's had enough of the, the high expectations and then the letdowns. And obviously, over the last few years, excluding the Rocks from that conversation, the Broncos, Nuggets, and as well as the Avalanche, they've had some shortcomings, and it's gotten underneath Mr. Page's skin.
Yeah, the only thing I would take issue with is maybe the Broncos. I don't think the Broncos are soft. And to be like, oh, you lost your quarterback and you couldn't go to the Super Bowl without your quarterback? Dude, that's a little tough.
So he's kind of playing the other advocate, right? And that's okay. There's 2 sides to that story. A lot of people want to lean on the fact that Bo Nix got hurt, and that's the reason why they didn't get to the Super Bowl. But, I mean, there's still a 53-man roster there with other guys that get paid a lot of money to do a job, and they just didn't get the job done.
Well, and they just didn't get the job done. It was a tough game. It was a tight game. Really kind of came down to a boneheaded decision by Sean Payton in the first half, and it went down to the wire, essentially. But to the Super Bowl, anyway, I take issue with that. Now, the other stuff, yes. There's no question the Avalanche have been soft since Nazem Kadri left. And even now, Nas is taking more hits and more lumps than I think he should, because I think he's not in old form yet, but he's actually one of the guys that's playing well in this series. He's not perfect, and he could play better, but, dude, he's still out there trying to create. We were talking about on the show yesterday. I think Will Pearson was the one talking about, like, Kadri makes a sick move, nice pass right to McKinnon, and McKinnon just misses the net, just completely whiffs on the net. Well, that's on McKinnon. Kadri still gets credit for making a nice play. I mean, he doesn't get full credit because they didn't score. But the thing I've been taking issue with is people saying, well, in fairness to the Nuggets, wait, stop, timeout. Who knocked the Nuggets out this year? Was it the Thunder? No, it was not. Was it the Spurs? No, it was not. It was a lowly seeded team that they tanked to set up the perfect matchup with, who was down a top 10 NBA player, by far hands down their best player, a Nugget killer. They're down him, they're down their best spot-up shooter, and they're down their second best scorer in the series. and they get embarrassed. They're not at the Thunder and Spurs level. They're not even at the T-Wolves level. They're an embarrassment. And that's not because they don't have enough talent. It's because they don't have it between the ears. So when the texter says, when are you going to start blaming the players? Well, right now, that's going to happen with the Nuggets. And if you listen to The Drive, you know why. Because they're broke. Invested in the wrong players. Aaron Gordon, his extension's about to kick in. It's going to cripple the team financially. So if they can at all, they will find a way to get rid of him. Because why? Because Josh Kroenke said at his end-of-year postmortem, I love Aaron Gordon, but you can't count on Aaron Gordon. And now they got to pay him his contract. And it's crippling the team. Christian Brown, crippling the team, not producing to the level of the contract. If he were, he would have done something to help his team get out of the first round. Jamal Murray killing the team, taking I think when it's all said and done, what's he going to get? Like close to $500 million out of the Nuggets? And he's a ghost when you need him most. The sad thing is the reason the Nuggets are going to make changes isn't because they're competent and they're going to do a careful analysis and say we got to rebuild this thing the right way. It's because of their incompetence, their inability to manage contracts, and to get bad Charmin soft mentality. And I don't know what the Avalanche are going to do because the Avalanche, the Nuggets had a really good roster this year. The best roster probably in the history of the team. It's hard, it's a little bit hard because you have a team that has, I think Carmelo, Chauncey, Marcus Camby, Kenyon Martin, like all those dudes. But I would say last year's team, probably the best team in team history, and couldn't even get out of the first round. And by the way, just not only, they lost a tight series, Game 7, like just embarrassing. I don't know how they could show their faces in this town, like that type of embarrassment. But the Avalanche are even more talented, right? And it would have been one thing to lose to the Wild because we said, whoever comes out of the Dallas-Minnesota series, that's going to be the real thing. Nobody was saying before this series, watch out for the Vegas Golden Knights, except for me, in that I was just nervous because I've seen this show before. I thought. But it wasn't even this bad last time, 5 years ago, when the Golden Knights castrated the Colorado Avalanche. Because at least in that series, the Avalanche took care of business at home the first couple games of that series. And they didn't fall apart until they went to Vegas. What are they going to do in Vegas now? Whew! Don't get me out of my good mood, man. Don't get me out of my positivity train. See, Woody, look what you made me do, Woody Page. I demand a formal apology. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get off our positive train. We're going to keep this train rolling. All right? Okay, so your chance to get involved. What do you guys think? Are the Broncos soft? Is Woody Page just lighting the whole town on fire? I think it's fair. Obviously, the Rockies are soft, but they're young. Obviously, the Nuggets are soft, and the Avalanche are soft. Who's softer, the Avalanche or the Nuggets? But the Broncos? Is that fair? Let us know what you think on the Sean Ponda YouTube chat line or the RamosLaw.com text line. It's the Dan Jacobs Show here on a Sunday.
Avalanche, Golden Knights. It's the Western Conference Final, and Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is all in. 1 hour before puck drop, we're live with full pregame coverage, keys to the game, bold predictions, and the intel you need. When the final horn sounds, we're not going anywhere. Instant post-game reaction. Every hit, every goal, every save. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver's playoff headquarters.
DeerTrailMeatCo.com. DeerTrailMeatCo.com. I've told you a lot about that party we had last weekend, man. I had to get up at 3:30 in the morning, get the smoker going. We had ribs. We had tenderloin. We had picanha steak. We had pulled pork. We had beef ribs. I forgot about the beef rib. Big, giant, juicy dino beef ribs, brisket. Man, we had it all. My buddy Hector, He loves chicken. I'm like, no, we ain't got time for no chicken mess. He's like, let me go get some chicken quarters. It's all about is making memories and spending good quality time with people and good food. But it's gotten hard recently with the price of beef skyrocketing and even pork at the grocery store. But I have the solution for you. DeerTrailMeatCo.com. They'll deliver it to your front door with a money-back guarantee at a tremendous savings, up to 75% off what you see in the grocery stores. And that includes your steaks and everything. Check them out. DeerTrailMeatCo.com. DeerTrailMeatCo.com.
Progressive knows you think the grass is some guy parked next to it at a campsite plays acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
The NBA playoffs are underway, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. San Antonio is currently trading at 19% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out over $500 if they take the title. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code SHOT to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here, and there's no better time to get your yard looking good, and there's no better way to do it than with Rich Lawn. With the organic-based fertilizer, Rich Lawn Turf Food, you'll get greener grass and build your soil for a beautiful yard. And while you're at it, don't forget to check out Revive to revitalize your lawn for deeper roots and deeper watering. Get Rich Lawn and Revive products at your Home Depot or your local gardening center. With Rich Lawn and Revive products, you'll have your yard ready in no time.
Who helps keep Colorado's wildlife wild? Our people do.
Hello, my name is Patricia. I've been with Chevron for over 17 years.
Her team uses GPS to track where mule deer and pronghorn roam throughout the seasons. This data helps us take their habitats into consideration when planning our operations.
When we created our comprehensive wildlife and conservation program, it was really about what was possible.
Learn more at colorado.chevron.com.
2026 is shaping up to be an amazing year to buy a home in Colorado. If you've been dreaming about getting into your first place, upgrading for more space, or downsizing for a simpler lifestyle, now is a smart time to start planning. And the first step is easy. Get pre-approved. With American Financing, you can get it done in 24 hours or less, so you'll know exactly what you can afford before you start shopping. Rates have been dropping, home prices are steady, and more homes are hitting the market. You could score the right home at the right price and lock in a monthly payment that fits your budget without stretching yourself thin. And unlike renting, every payment you make goes toward your future, not your landlord's. And here's a misconception we love to bust. You do not need 20% down. Many buyers purchase with as little as 3% down. So if home ownership is on your 2026 goals list, let's make it happen. Call American Financing, Colorado's home for home loans at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
You're listening to the Honorable Judge Dan Jacobs on Denver Sports 104.
You know, they get a little bit of time and space and posting in twice. So it's ones I obviously want to get, no question about it. No one puts more pressure on it than me. Two plays that decide a hockey game. That was a toe drag release. He had two net drivers, kind of bought time, and then just as he waited, it was what's going to happen? Is he going to slice it in? Is he going to go short side? Taser, and everyone kind of laid off, and hell of a shot. 8 inches off the ice, posting in, and just one you want to get.
Gabe Landeskog in the aftermath of the just crushing defeat the other night at Pepsi Center. I was at a party yesterday, and two of the friends were at that game. And I said, I don't know if I'm talking to you two. I hold you guys accountable. You guys should have lifted them, given them the energy. You should have been so stinking loud that the Avalanche fed off your energy and had no choice but to win that game. Instead, you guys were soft in the third quarter, and the Avs were flat, and they got beat. And, the one guy was like, hey, man, this is the first time they've lost when I've been there in a long time. That one's not on me. I'm like, okay, all right, I guess. So, RamosLaw.com text line. By the way, I am watching right now the Broncos. I don't know what channel this is on, but it's like now it's playing all the Broncos games, and it just showed the, quote, soft Broncos, Mr. Woody, in the ultimate act of toughness coming back to defeat the Giants, and now the highlights of the Cowboys game that you were talking about, Mr. Boyd, are on there.
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys, they were shell-shocked. I never seen, a team just clicking on all cylinders the way the Denver Broncos were that day. They made me a believer after that game, for sure.
All right, somebody says, I haven't heard Woody Page's name mentioned in years. Now, all of a sudden, he's kind of a headline in this region. He might have been saying things just for a fact, or he likes the hits or whatever they are. ESPN forever. Like, that just ended. And the reason you're hearing him now is he's like, all right, he's getting back. Like, he tells, dude, the stories that Woody Page has, they're insane. And when he chooses to share those stories, they're amazing. They're amazing. The life that man has lived. What was, oh my God, one of them was like, he just kind of mentioned it in passing. Oh, what was it? Oh, the lady, think of her name.
Hey, you got me there, boss.
Yeah. Oh, it'll come to me, but huge actress, whatever, like GOAT, Hall of Fame, all that stuff. Woody was just like, oh yeah, I dated her. And they're like, what? You dated her? And then they went out on a date, and then she says, yeah, I'll give you a call. And she never calls him back. One of those things. It's crazy.
He got friend zoned after one date. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Well, Nuggets win 12 straight to end the year. Then you and idiot Chris Finch saying the Nuggets chose the Wolves, LOL. Actually, you guys have been saying that, and the media has been saying that. I was saying, like, why would they do that? Like, to me, I was like, I don't want the Wolves. The Wolves are their kryptonite. They always have. They have. No, I shouldn't say always have been, but recently they have been. How many times have they thumped the Nuggets, embarrassed the Nuggets recently? And people are like, oh, that's all news. They'll win this in, maybe a gentleman's sweep. Okay. Let's see here. Should have lost that game at home. Lee, the amputee.
The infamous.
So, I don't know that that's fair. I mean, the Patriots are a pretty dominant team. Now, here's what I'll probably agree with Lee on this. Now it's become like folklore. Like I feel bad for Bo Nix because they put him on such a pedestal now because, like, the story gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, if they would have had Bo, they definitely would have been the Super Bowl. And then I hear, and I love these guys, but like Cecil and Dover, like it's like
they're very optimistic guys. They love
Bill
Bo
Brasky.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Brasky from like Bill Brasky. They would have won by 3 scores. You don't know that. Oh, and then it's like, well, they would not. How could you say with any measure of confidence other than just homerism that the Broncos would have beaten the Seahawks? You don't know that. You have no idea.
Because I'm almost willing to argue, what if Bo Nix gets hurt like he did in the game prior? What if he gets hurt like that in the AFC Championship game in the snow?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Right. And according to Sean Payton, what if he gets hurt in the Super Bowl, right?
Well, I mean, they make it to the Super Bowl. The most heartbreaking stories, and the Broncos would have went into the biggest game of their careers with being deflated.
With that text, but I can't. If McCarr has an injury that requires surgery, he should just do it so his coach and McKinnon have grit. The others are finesse, soft players. The other Colorado teams aren't soft. They're just bad. Rockies are not as good as the other teams. I like what you said. I'm with you on some of it, not all of it, Texter. Landeskog has been playing gritty and hard, right? McKinnon's it's weird with McKinnon because there's not much you can point to him and saying he's not giving maximum effort, but for some reason he just doesn't come through most of the time in the clutch in McKinnon, right? But I do know if he ends his career with only one championship, it's going to severely tarnish his legacy. Now, when you say the other teams are finesse, the other Colorado teams aren't soft, they're just bad, or not as good as the other teams. No, I can't go there with the Nuggets. The Nuggets are incredibly talented. They got the best player, or at least he was. I think this is not a hot take. A lot of us saw Nikola Jokic becoming human in that series. Has been for 5 or 6 years. They're talented. That was why I took issue with everybody saying, oh, they're not athletic. Christian Brown's not athletic. He's not talented. Jamal Murray, he's a freak. Jamal Murray's a freak when he wants to be, or when he shows out. They had talent. Dude, the year before, playing one guy off the bench and Russell Westbrook, and that guy was a liability. It wasn't like they didn't have the talent. Okay, you can make the argument that they need to retool if they're going to hang with the Spurs or the Thunder, but they didn't even get to that part. Like, they didn't lose to a better team, especially when the other team was completely decimated by injuries. I mean, that is one of the all-time embarrassing butt whippings in the history of sport. The way that for the Nuggets to go out like that with their level of talent and what was happening to the other side, it's just humiliating. Huge lead at home, couldn't close it out, humiliated, and Game 6 just didn't even show up, didn't even have any pride, humiliations. Like, the Nuggets just don't care, man. Like, I used to have a stat, like, how many times the Nuggets had lost by double digits and 20-some points under Mike Malone in the playoffs. Like, they get humiliated, they just don't care. Like, they just roll. Let us roll on.
And that's the soft stuff that Woody Page is lamenting, right? When you're just laying down and it's about, if you're gonna lose, it's about how you lose. If you get blown out and get smoked, nobody cares.
All right, coming up next. Thanks for the memories, Denver Nuggets.
Parents, looking for a fun way to get your kid active this summer?
Are you kidding me?
DenverSports 104.3 The Fan's third annual Be a Mentor, Be a Fan Youth Football Camp is back. Brought to you by Walmart. Saturday, June 27th at Denver South High School's All-City Stadium. Your child ages 8 to 14 will learn the fundamentals of football in a safe, hands-on environment from people who played the game at the highest level. We're talking former Denver Broncos Mark Schlereth, Philip Lindsay, and Brandon Stokely, along with a trusted coaching staff from Denver South. And every dollar raised goes to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Colorado. So your family is giving back just by showing up. Sign up today at denversports.com/camp. That's denversports.com/camp.
Jacob's Law, 303-LAW-4040, 303-LAW-4040. One of our dutiful texters says, Dan, I listened to the Tale of Two Cousins spot. That's not real, is it? Actually, I did screw up in that ad. I was talking to the cousin that we got $1.1 million. The ad, I say she only got $3,000. I was wrong. They didn't even give her that much. They only gave her $2,000. So she only got $2,000. I gave her way too much credit. She didn't get $3,000. So I apologize for that. But I do not apologize. We said no. They said $60,000. We said no. They said $90,000. We said, we'll see you in court. And then first cousin. 303-LAW-4040. Save that number in your phone. I hope you never need it, but accidents do happen. It's 303-LAW-4040.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Denver at 720-637-9567. 720-637-9567. That's 720-637-9567. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationdenver.com.
This is Terry Wickstrom. I want to tell you about a great new partner to Terry Wickstrom Outdoors, Mad River Mortgage, your reverse mortgage specialist. If you want to secure your rest of life housing, maybe come up with some extra cash, or have a line of credit available to supplement your senior lifestyle, call my friend Mike Rabin at 303-396-2804 and ask about an FHA insured home equity conversion mortgage, or go to madrivermortgage.com, NMLS 1504779.
Don't miss the Tree Farm's Memorial Day sale. Now through Memorial Day, the Tree Farm has been family-owned and cared for since 1980. Now get 25% off all sizes of flowering shrubs, including lilac, spirea, butterfly bush, and more. For example, 3-year-old Bloomerang dark purple lilac, now just $74.96 each. Now through Memorial Day. Come see.
You take I-25 to exit 235, then 5 miles west to the Tree Farm.
Mike Rowe here with a fun fact. Did you know that 50% of the air that you breathe inside your home comes from your crawl space? Yeah. Whether your crawl space is wet, musty, or your floors are bouncy, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to repair your crawl space. Schedule a free inspection with Groundworks, the foundation and waterproofing experts.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Spine One. Let me ask you a question. You live with back pain, neck pain. Well, my guys at Spine One, they're an emergency room for back pain with same-day appointments. They'll see you and they'll get the journey started. And that's exactly what I did. Whether it's chronic pain, acute pain, work-related, sports-related, doesn't matter. All you got to do is pick up the phone and start your journey just like I did toward pain-free. 303-367-2225. That's 303-367-BACK. Or as always, you can find them online at SpineOne.com.
It's the Honorable Judge Dan Jacobs on Denver Sports 104.
Yeah, would we have liked this one tonight? For sure, but move on.
All right, Gabe Landeskog again. I listened to a lot of the clips. There was also a Nazem Kadri clip, and some of these guys, I don't know. It only makes me a little bit worried because they don't seem to just like they have the supreme confidence. I don't know, but I could be a little bit worried, but we'll just see. Man, we're about, 6. A couple hockey savants, Justin Adams and Kyle Reese, doing the pregame show for you. Finally, you get a real pregame show. All right. Back up to the RamosLaw.com text line. Somebody was saying, have they ticketed you for junk in the drive? These are HOA texts. Have they ticketed you for junk in the driveway yet when they see your DeLorean? Yeah, right. Even the HOA cops just get out on their hands and knees and bow and say, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. Dan, that's a cop-out for not being able to control your pet. Control your damn pet. Dude, it's just nature, man. I don't know what to tell you. Now, here's one. You want controversy?
We always love, the world loves controversy. Hit them with it.
Okay, so behind us, it was like back to Murphy Creek and wetlands, right? Or in our current dog park in our current neighborhood, there's the area where the dogs run around, and then there's within that area, there's these fenced, grassy, weedy native areas, right? Like the British Open.
They're called marshes.
Yeah, marshes. So if the dogs, my policy is this, I'm probably going to get in trouble for this. If the dog poops on the sidewalk or somewhere where humans are going to be, 100% of the time I pick it up. No question.
Even if it's not your dog.
Sometimes I'll even pick up if I see it, I'll pick it up. If I got the bag in my pocket or whatever, yes, I've been known to pick up even other dogs, you know what, because I think it's the right thing to do, be a good human being. However, so for just go run out into the field, right? And if they do their business there, Sean, do you pick that up?
I mean, if it's my pup, absolutely.
You're gonna walk out in the middle of the thorns and the stickers and the weeds to go pick up dog poo.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let my dog go into the stickers because you got to pick those out of their paws.
Well, they run. They're just running, man. They're tough. They got pads on their feet and they're just running free, like Lassie.
I don't know, man. I'm such a animal lover. my dog is like it might as well be another person. So, we can't let him do stuff.
Or
like
at the dog park, for example, the little fenced-in areas where no humans are supposed to go. Like you have to climb through
Other people looking around are like, oh my gosh, who does this person think that they are? That they could just leave their dunk and just go on about their day.
You just pretend you don't see it. You see the dog about ready to, how they get that stance, and you're like, what's that over there? It's a bird. Hey, look, there's a Cybertruck over there. You know what I mean? You just pretend you don't see it, then they can't say anything.
Yeah, see, you're gonna end up getting arrested by a citizen, sir. Citizen's arrest.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's all I'm saying. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, I got home from a Home Depot trip around 8:30, and a couple was letting their dog number 2 on my lawn as I clearly backed into my driveway. I get the park is nice, but people driving into your neighborhood, letting dogs do snowbag or cleanups, signs going up. Big Frank from the A. Now, yeah, I agree with you, Big Frank. You can't let your dog go into somebody's yard and leave something behind. That is a no-no, and you got to bring baggies if you're going to take your dog for a walk. I don't know if I don't do that. I just pretend it's coyote poo. Avalanche went to Las Vegas back on October 31st. They won 4-2 over the Las Vegas Golden Knights. And Scott Wood, number 41, was between the pipes. That's, hey, that's good. That's Bert in Broomfield. See, we're trying to be positive.
Bert's positive right now, and he should be. Let me ask you this. Do you see the Avs being able to win 2 games on the road? And if they're only able to win 1, do you think they can survive and extend the series when it comes back to Colorado?
Well, that's the reason teams always have the ability to come back. But I mean, they rarely do. But it happens every once in a while because, okay, they get the split. They're down 3-1. Okay, but they're back home. You would think they'd have enough pride that they win. Well, then you're only down 3-2. Obviously, you got to win back on the road again. But if you can do that, you got a chance to bring it all home on your home ice in Game 7.
Here's a better question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see that happening? Starting with Game 3, what would you say your X factor key to tonight's game was?
I think the Avalanche have to come out all, like I said earlier, all gas, no brakes, no. I mean, what happened the other night? They just let up in the third period. Like, they have to play with a hunger, an eye of the tiger, so to speak, where they're not going to be stopped. And they give it everything they have for the full 60 minutes of hockey, or until they get up, they score enough goals, and they have to be peppering, the net. They just got to be firing shots. They got to be on their game. They got to, like Herb Brooks said, play your game. Play your game. That's what they got to do. They just got to be on fire, and they cannot let up. If they do that, you cannot lose. I think that was from We Are Marshall, right? Play till the whistle blows.
I think the big thing for me this evening is that they're going to load Coach Bednar is going to load the front line. He's going to keep it heavy with Netchis and as well as McKinnon and I'm missing. Is it Kadri?
Well, no, Landy, he'd been playing around with the lines, but for a while there, he had Landy up there.
Oh, so Landy is confirmed based off of the sources that I got from this morning's skate around.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be in that front line.
Okay.
Now, with that, we're looking for a guy like Nate McKinnon to have more than just one shot on goal like he did in Game 2.
Yes.
That's going to have to change.
Yeah, they got to get a lot of shots on goal. And they have to not, hey, we're up 1-0, we'll see what else we can do. No, you need a multiple goal lead. And by the way, none of this, we're talented. We can get behind, and as long as just go at them. Be the better team. Show them you're the better team. Take their heart for once. You know what I mean? Like go at them and say, we're the best hockey team on the planet, and tonight is our night.
Guys like Sam Malinsky, if Cale Makar can't go, Sam Malinsky's going to be on that third line. He's going to have to play one of his best nights. He's probably going to be the quarterback of that line. And so, it's a mental magic type of feel that they got going on in that third line, and they're going to need everybody to play impact.
We need Brock Nelson. We need Val Nichushkin is perplexing. Like, where the heck did that guy go?
I mean, it's playoff hockey, baby. I mean, every game, and it's a game of attrition. So every guy's not going to have their best nights, game in and game out.
Yeah, well, but the problem is, same thing with the Nuggets. None of them had their best nights. Not like nobody. Like, you can't have that. You can't have that as a team. All right, 2 hours down, 1 more hour to go. We will check in with Adam Hill from the Las Vegas Review-Journal coming up next segment. Also, Zach By, the patron saint of Denver sports jinxes. We'll get into that coming up next.
The Avalanche are in trouble. Colorado drops both games at home and now trails Vegas 2-0 in the Western Conference Finals. The urgency is real, and the Avs need their biggest star. The series heads to Vegas. What's gone wrong for Colorado, and can they flip the momentum before it's too late? Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver's playoff headquarters.
Pet owners and parents know the struggle. Every time dogs or kids go outside, they track mud right back in. If you're tired of scrubbing floors, you need Muddy Mat, the anti-mud mat that cleans paws and shoes before they ruin your home. Only Muddy Mat features thousands of ultra-soft microfibers that are 5 times more absorbent than ordinary mats, instantly trapping dirt and water to protect your floors. Put it by every door, under pet bowls, in the kitchen for spills. It even makes a perfect bath mat, and it's 100% machine washable, so cleanup is effortless.
Since getting Muddy Mat, I don't worry about what my dog gets into. His paws are clean the second he steps off.
No more mopping. I love it. Thank you, Muddy Mat. Right now, get a free medium Muddy Mat with your order of 2 or more mats at buymuddymat.com. This offer is only available at buymuddymat.com. That's BUYMUDDYMAT.com. Don't wait. Get your free Muddy Mat today at buymuddymat.com.
In the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on brakes?
We mark Duralast brake pads down to free.
Free Duralast brake pads?
When you buy 2 rotors.
Can I get Duralast Gold pads for free?
With 2 Duralast Gold rotors, and there's a lifetime warranty on brake pads.
That's a huge markdown for so many miles.
Save on brakes and more during Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Drivers who switch to Progressive could save hundreds just by bundling home and auto insurance, because you can't go wrong saving money. Unless you spend it on a guitar, never learn to play it, but lie and say that you did. Then someone hands you a guitar at a party and asks you to play, so you decide to improvise this.
Well, don't you know that but that's not it. Dreams are fun and also good.
Yep, you can't go wrong. Bundling and saving money with Progressive. Well, depends on how you spend it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
You know what you can trust? The protection you get when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. You know what you can't trust? Everything else, apparently. Like when you saw that article that said that thing you eat every day is a superfood and great for your gut health. But then 30 seconds later, a different article warns you to avoid it and it's taking years off your life. Well, which is it? Kind of a big difference there. Anyway, bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive for reliable coverage in a reliably unreliable world. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses, plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents the Honorable Judge Dan Jacobs.
We're taking a different outlook on this game. We could sit around and just be nervous. We're choosing the positive. I'm choosing to say, you know what's going to be awesome? When the Avalanche pull this baby off, and they pull off one of the great comeback stories in the history of sports to punch their ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals. Think of all the joy and excitement we're going to experience in the next 4 games. That's what I'm choosing to think about. And so we've been trying to find some inspiration, some comeback stories, some music to get you pumped up, some quotes. The fan mail, 1043 The Fan email during the break. And I came across a very inspirational person. In fact, here's what I want to do. Sean, I'll ask you this, and I'll ask the listeners this. This is from one of our fellow teammates here on the station was asked to give kind of a leadership message with what you have where you are. That is a quote from Theodore Roosevelt. Some people have more advantages. Some teams might have more talent. Some companies might have more resources. But that doesn't mean they'll put it to good use. It doesn't mean they're destined to win. Drago had better training facilities than Rocky. Indiana didn't have the most 5-star recruits in college football. FedEx didn't have the funding of the U.S. Postal Service. But they all won. They all defied the odds. And think big. I like it. You have any guesses who that was? No, not right. No. Listeners, you have a guess on the RamosLaw.com text? Remember JJ got bit by the dog and you called him a sissy?
I never said that.
Well, you kind of said Chihuahua, he's a sissy.
There's a little bit of
but JJ got bit by a Chihuahua, so therefore he's a sissy. So here's the funny thing. My daughter, we're driving around in the car. My 8-year-old daughter is taught about Kathy J from Cozy 101. I'm like, what? Why would you even know who that is? And so at the party, all of a sudden Kathy J shows up because JJ sent her. They're married. And so JJ sends her to get meat because JJ had like a tennis tournament or whatever. So I'm loading up all this meat for him. And it turns out my daughter's best friend, she loves Kathy J. And it turns out that's because her mom loves Kathy J. And they listen to Cozy 101 in the car. And so they always listen to Kathy and this and that. And, well, Kathy J's right there. I'm like, well, take a picture. Stepped out. She comes back. She's like, oh, my God, I love Kathy J. I love Kathy J. I'm like, yeah, you know what's so funny? Your dog bit Kathy J's husband. And she goes, oh, no. With like she was just horrified that her dog, Chip, had dang near ripped the calf off of Kathy J's husband.
I don't even know that a Chihuahua could even open their mouth wide enough to be able to take a chunk out of a cat.
It was weird, dude. It had puncture wounds and everything. I'm like, the dog's mouth is tiny. How did he even do that?
You know what, Dan? Speaking of puncture wounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had a couple of comebacks that came to mind. One's a comeback, one's a feel-good, right?
All right, let's go.
All right, so the feel-good was when Billy Hoyle dunked the ball in White Man Can't Jump. actual factual situation where Reggie Miller down 8 points with less than 9 seconds left, and the guy scores 9 points to win the game versus the Knicks. And then they created the infamous documentary called Miller Time. I think that's got to be one of the best comebacks in history.
Yes. Good times growing up. Reggie Miller was fun. He just couldn't quite get over that Jordan hump. I was rooting for him, man. I hated him when he was playing. I couldn't believe, I thought the Jazz could beat him. I thought the Reggie Miller, that they could beat him. They just couldn't do it, man.
I mean, those guys, Utah was really close in that series in 98. That was probably one of the closest series ever. Was that 90? Yeah, that was 97. 97,
96, 97.
Yeah. Either
98.
way, that was one series where Utah had everything clicking. Karl Malone, Jeff Hornacek, Brian Scott, John Stockton, they were doing everything.
The guy used to wear red glasses.
The center for Utah.
Mark Eaton was their center, but he wasn't bald.
Backup. I was gonna say Olden Polynice, but I know I'm reaching.
What? I thought Bill Weddington was bald by the end, but he played for the Bulls and then he bounced around.
It's gonna come back to me.
Yeah, all right, it'll come back to you. By the way, somebody was saying, sounds like some BS Cecil would email. So a guess on the leadership quote from our company. It's not Cecil. By the way, Cecil's not BS, dude. I respect Cecil's perspective on things of such nature, of life. Going there with that, but it was not Cecil, by the way. So somebody says, everyone loves and listens to Kathy J from 2 to 6 when bleep. Hey, all of a sudden, man. All of a sudden, people are just piling on Zach. I didn't even get into the segment yet. Where Zach By is the patron saint of DenverSports jinxes. And just all of a sudden, here, I think Zach By might be.
And that's a good space for Zach to be in because he's been the Wonder Boy since the day he arrived.
Thinking about that, just all these texters coming in off the top rope on Zach. I haven't even said anything yet. And now, I was talking about earlier in the show about, people used to think I was negative, and then now I give Zach a hard time. Give Zach any little opening into, taking a jab at Sean Payton. Whoo, he's going to take it. And now he's been jinxing every dang star in this town, every team in this town, which I'll get into. Probably have to get in that next segment because we will have a special guest here in just a minute live from Las Vegas. And I think since he's got, when he was with Stokely and Zach, he was the good guy. And that was the WWE days. And now since he's in Afternoon Drive and it's him and Phil Lindsay, and everybody, of course, is going to love Phil Lindsay, I think Zach By is the new Hollywood Hogan of the fan. What do you guys think about that? By the way, they were saying Greg Ostertag was the center, and maybe it was
I'm thinking of a guy named Carr. Yeah.
Carr, yeah. Okay, that was cool. All right, do we have live from Las Vegas our old friend of the program, Adam Hill from the Las Vegas Review Journal? How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. I thought about you because we know that the Colorado Avalanche are about to, starting in, 6 hours in your city, they're going to start the beginning of one of the great comeback stories in sports history. And so I was thinking about some of those, the Red Sox coming back, and then Rudy came to mind. And I'm like, who loves Rudy? Fellow Las Vegas resident. Adam Hill just loves him some Rudy Rudiger. What a feel-good story. And so we thought, well, you'd be a great guy to talk to.
This feels like a forced analogy.
Why is that?
I mean, you're just trying to work Rudy in because, you know my feelings, obviously, and as anybody would. I mean, Rudy, the nonsensical movie followed by, just a mean, goofy person in real life. I don't know how that relates necessarily to Colorado Avalanche trying to come back from this 2-0 deficit, which I don't think would be that great of a. I mean, historically, yes, the numbers suggest this would be a phenomenal comeback story. I don't really see it being that much of a deficit right now. I think that they're right in the series. I think they're fine. And somebody asked me last night. I said I think it's still a 50-50 series.
Wow. See, I know you guys are expecting the other shoe to drop, so I'm glad to hear you say that, Adam. It was kind of like when you were
first of all, let's be clear. I'm not a fan of either team. I cover the team. I'm just kind of looking at it objectively. And the Golden Knights, obviously got a couple of wins. I was pretty surprised by it, but the Avalanche have been the best team in the league all year, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if they win not only tonight, but go back to Colorado 2-2, and even if it's 3-1, I don't think.
Sure, it was much the way you were feeling about our beloved DU Pioneers facing your Wisconsin Badgers in Vegas just a month or two ago in the Frozen Four. I mean, you knew the cream was going to rise to the crop, and that's, I think, essentially what you're getting out right now, is it not, Mr. Hill?
First of all, I'm Michigan, not
Michigan.
Wisconsin.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry, Michigan. Yeah.
Well, and look, in Michigan, that was a different scenario, I guess, in that Michigan was a better team all year. They were a better team in that game. They just ran into a very, very good goaltender, which I guess you can compare a little bit. Much better of a team, or at least significantly better. I think Carter Hart's playing really, really well, and that has helped them. And they had a couple of things go their way. Obviously, 2 unbelievable shots that they made in the third period to be able to rally and come from behind in that game. But I don't think there's that many similarities between those matchups, except for the fact that there was a pretty stunning upset, I guess, in that DU game when they beat Michigan, and it's pretty stunning right now that the Golden Knights are ahead 2-0.
Man, you are being very professional. You refuse to take the bait. Good on you, Mr. Hill. We appreciate you.
It's not going to happen. I know you tried. I know you want it to happen.
That's why. But
I might, though.
I brought up Michigan. I was like, because I get put in the similar situation when I come on your show in Las Vegas. Adam Hill says a lot of things that will get you riled up. I mean, it's just the way it is. Sure. And I was completely on point and professional to the very end. And then you said something, I think it was like cereal is the same as soup. Cereal is a soup or something. And I lost it. But you, sir, are today you're not taking the bait. That's fantastic. Where'd you go? It's not soup. You don't go to the soup aisle.
It's a liquid. Yeah, it's a liquid with by a store. Well, just because the store doesn't put it in the same aisle doesn't mean it's not the same category.
You don't go to the bakery to get charcoal briquettes, right?
Well, to be clear, cereal is not a soup until you put it in milk.
Okay, all right. I'm not doing it. Where'd you go by? One time you came on the show and you were getting bottle service the night before with some famous celebrity. You had like a little roped off area. Was it something like that last night? You got a good story?
No, it was actually, you're talking about the Golden Knights game today, which obviously is a massive sporting event here in Vegas, but there is a more, I'm not going to say significant, there's a much wilder sporting event that is also happening on the Strip today. And I had some friends in town that were covering it, so I was just out. We were out for a late dinner and a couple of stops at some bars last night, but nothing wild. But did you know the enhanced games are going on today in Vegas?
I have no idea what that is.
It's a
steroid
to use performance-enhancing drugs.
Like on Saturday Night Live when they rip off their arms doing the deadlift. You remember that?
Yeah,
skit?
but this is like. Yeah, I do remember the skit, but this is actually legitimate, like Olympic athletes. There's gold medalists that are competing in this, and they're just allowed to. And they did it under like supervised, medical care for a couple of weeks. They were training all together, and now they're going to compete and try to pick a bunch of world records today. It's track and field, weightlifting. It's wild. I'm not going. I'll obviously be at the hockey game,
right?
But it is happening.
Complaining that at Ball Arena the crowd was a little flat. They kind of let the team down. I've been to the Golden Knights fans. They're loud. They're into the game. They're relatively young fans. They're happy to have a hockey team. Talk to us about the crowd, what it's like to play there, and can the Avalanche just tune that out? I mean, they can, obviously. Do you think they will? Like, talk to me about the impact of the crowd at, was it T-Mobile?
T-Mobile Arena, yeah. I think it's at the Bell Center where it's just like, this wall of just impenetrable force coming at you that they have there. I don't think it's like that. It's a good crowd. There has been some empty seats in the playoffs, so I think the fans are a little bit, not to use the S word, but maybe a little spoiled by the success of the team. That there was some spots, but I know this game is completely sold out. It's even tough to get on the secondary market. They're all in now, which does make it a little bit more of a wild environment. I think the fans didn't really see the potential in this team to maybe make a run to the final, and now they're seeing it, especially being up 2-0 in the series. So I think the fans are back in a little bit, and it's going to be loud. I don't think it's overwhelming, though, and I think that you see the success that road teams have had in the playoffs, including 2-0 for the Golden Knights in Denver. I don't think the crowd is going to be the biggest factor in this game, certainly, and I know the Golden Knights expect a really, really big push from Colorado, and they're probably going to get it, especially from some of those top line players who haven't had this massive impact in this series that I think a lot of people have expected. So I think the Avalanche will be okay, and I don't know that the crowd is going to be a significant factor in kind of holding them back from what they want to do. It'll be good, and it's loud, and they'll have the goofy things before the game with the Knights slaying some, like a snowstorm of some sort. It's going to be, interesting to find out how they play that in the opening bit with the Knight coming out and slaying whatever he usually slays. But once the game starts, I think the crowd is going to be good, but not overwhelming.
It was interesting, the story, this narrative. In fact, when I was on your show, you guys asked me, are the Wild the most hated team? Not Wild, the Knights the most hated team in hockey. And I'm like, well, we don't really hate them. Of course, you're getting penalized draft picks for not talking to the media. It did remind me when I was out there a month or two ago, no media room. Basically, we had to for the national championship, we had to be in a tent. What's the deal with the quirky, eccentric, eclectic organization? Is that fair?
Yeah, the study came out, just the other day of, the most hated team in the league, and the Golden Knights won that fan poll. I don't know how scientific that all is, but I think they are the most hated team in the league, and I think they probably should be. And I don't think the Golden Knights should be upset about that. I think they should be proud of it. It's the way that they operate in a lot of different ways. I mean, they have ruthlessly, and I've credited them for this, ruthlessly cut ties with fans, fan favorites, and people that have emotional connections with the city, and they just get rid of them. They fire coaches like they're changing hand towels, basically. They created this whole way of kind of circumventing the salary cap the last couple of years, to where the league had to change the rules about it. They haven't had any real down years. They had twice missing the playoffs and a couple of times leaving early, but the fans haven't had any kind of adversity of it. It's part of it. The way that they don't talk to the media. They evade their responsibilities there. They've done a lot of things to get under the skin of fans around the league, and I think they should be proud of it. It's why they've been successful. That ruthless nature, I think, is a credit to what they've done, but it should make them hate it, and I think it has.
All right, last one for you. It's fun. We've been talking about this actually the last couple of weeks. I think you'll have a good perspective on it. You kind of brought it up, the Golden Knights have cut ties with things. Broncos are getting a new stadium in, 7-8 years. Can you cut people stadium and put them inside the building? We're calling it the Hallway of Fame or something. Would that be acceptable if Puka like that?
So you're saying still have the Ring of Honor or whatever, but it's not.
Brandon Stokely said they just kick him out. I was saying, well, maybe you just move him into a different area for the old timers to be recognized, and the Elway area guys or whatever, the Manning era guys, get prime placement inside where the fans actually go. But yeah, I mean, essentially you're taking them down.
I don't like it. I'm not. The funny thing is, I'm not really a sentimental guy necessarily in that way. But once you as an organization have made the move to put those guys in, they have to stay in. You can't just be like, no, we changed our mind on it. I mean, I guess if they've committed atrocities or something, I'm not saying the Bills need to keep O.J. Simpson in their Ring of Honor with their new stadium, but unless they do something like that, I think that's a tough one. I think once you're in, you're in. You have to appreciate the guys that have come before. I don't love that. I don't.
Is OJ in the Ring of Honor right now?
Not that he was. I'm saying, if something like that happens, I'm fine with removing somebody.
Oh, okay.
But I think other than that, if they haven't done anything wrong, that's messed up. And they earned their way in. They were part of the history. Sorry that, at the time the bar was a little bit lower, but it just was.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Not basically. They are the better team.
Okay. Well, not right now. They're not because they're down 0-2, but yes.
Winning a series doesn't make you the better team. Winning a game doesn't make you the better team. It's what you do over the course of a long period of time The playoffs don't determine who the best team is. They determine who wins the playoffs.
You are what your record says you are. And if you are up, if you win 4 games and the other team can't beat you, you're better than them. And that's a pretty
82 games. 82 games tells us who the better team is, not a best of 7.
No, that's not accurate. That's not.
Yes, it is.
Why bother having the playoffs? Just give the
That's a different trophy. That determines the best team. The playoffs are just like this fun thing to see who raises the trophy. But
the champion,
the best team is the best team.
All right, I'm up against it. We'll continue this conversation later. Adam Hill, thank you so much, man.
Yep, talk to you soon.
All right, that's Adam Hill from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. I don't agree with that. Texters, you agree with that? That the Avalanche are the best team in the NHL no matter what, even if they flame out in against the Vegas Golden Knights, who Adam Hill was saying, we don't expect to beat the Avalanche. I still don't think we're going to beat the Avalanche. All right, that discussion continues on the Dan Jacobs Show, coming up next.
Brandon Stokely goes head-to-head with Zach By in 100 Holes for Kids. 100 holes of golf. It's a one-day event all to raise money for Recruiting Classroom, whose mission it is to help kids play sports. Who will raise the most? That's where you come in. Pick your player, make your donation, and help kids win. To support Brandon Stokely, head to StokelyCares.com. To support Zach By, head to ZachCares.com.
Jacob's Law, 303-LAW-4040, 303-LAW-4040. I was talking about this. My sister heard one of my spots, and she goes, you sound great, but why do you say that, your clients aren't looking to get rich? To me, that could mean that you don't get them very much money. And I said, no, that's not it at all. We do very well for our clients. We do a lot better for them than if they were to go it alone and try and work with the insurance companies directly. I say that because our people, they're just like you, good Dan Jacobs Show listeners. They're not looking to get rich, but they're hurt. They don't know what to do. They don't know if they're going to get paid for who's going to pay for the medical bills, all that stuff. And here's a fine example. Had a guy, he was referred in, and he got hurt by his neighbor. And he's like, Dan, I don't feel good about this. I don't want to sue my neighbor. So if it gets out of hand, I want to be able to hold up my head in this community. We said, don't worry, we're not going to sue him if we don't have to. We'll take care of it. We'll work with the insurance company. We got him $1.5 million. And he was not looking to try and get $1.5 million. He was just looking for what's fair. Insurance company does it as well. It's Jacob's Law, 303-LAW-4040, 303.
You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Denver at 720-637-9567, 720-637-9567. That's 720-637-9567. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationdenver.com.
In the playoffs, everything comes down to the buzzer. One shot, one moment, no room for error. In your facility, that moment hits when the power goes out. That's when experience matters most. For over 40 years, Piper Electric has delivered expert electrical construction, service, and maintenance, including fire alarms and large-scale power distribution. Their licensed electricians are built for high-pressure situations and complex projects. Starting something new? Don't wait for the last second. Make the smart call. Include Piper Electric. Visit piperelectric.com.
Hi folks, Dan Cicchini, Done Right Home Improvements. My wife Susan and I started Done Right in our garage in 1985, doing a little of everything. We've grown to be one of the largest companies of our kind in Colorado, specializing in kitchens, baths, counters, floors, finished basements, and windows and doors. Serving Colorado 40 years. And what an adventure it's been. We've learned that the fundamentals of a successful business never change. That is, treat people like you want to be treated, do good work, price fairly, and back up what you say. That's our success formula. Here's our son Todd.
That's right, Dad. Been hearing that my whole life from you and Mom. Folks, whether it's a first-class kitchen renovation, an awesome turnkey bathroom remodel, a full-service basement finish for some extra space, or replacement windows and doors that will wow you, give us a call. With an 8% scheduling incentive and bank financing to ask about, now couldn't be a better time.
Kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, finished basements, windows, and doors. You have our word. We'll treat you right at Done Right. Call us to reserve your spot in our schedule. 303-722-2295, 800-362-8370, or drhi.com.
Who helps keep Colorado's wildlife wild? Our people do.
Hello, my name is Patricia. I've been with Chevron for over 17 years.
Her team uses GPS to track where mule deer and pronghorn roam throughout the seasons. This data helps us take their habitats into consideration when planning our operations.
When we created our comprehensive wildlife and conservation program, it was really about what was possible.
Learn more at colorado.chevron.com.
You're listening to the Honorable Judge Dan Jacobs on Denver Sports, 104.3 The Fan.
I don't know. I don't really think anything's changed. I think it is, a lot of guys elevate their game come playoff time, and, myself included. And I just feel like we all want to win. I want to win so bad, do anything to win. So I don't know. I just feel like it's that added, element of, playoffs are, obviously exciting. And, you do anything for your teammates that you've worked all season for to, be there and, put ourselves in this situation. So for myself personally, I don't think really anything crazy. I just, come drink every day, smile on my face, and kind of do everything I can to, help us win.
All right, Russ Colton, keeping things easy and light. I was very encouraged by Adam Hill. They're scared out there. They're scared in Las Vegas.
That was kind of the same way that Minnesota was acting.
Taken, Judge. I'm like, but they were. Andy Verville was scared. Kevin Fallness was scared, and Adam Hill, they don't. That's the crazy thing about the Avalanche being down 0-2, is he even said it. They themselves in Las Vegas did not expect this at all, and so they're waiting for the other shoe to drop, and so the Avalanche have to give them that whooping and get back on track because, I wonder if there isn't a little bit of that in the Golden Knights, right? Like, I'll give you a good example. It's funny. Psychology in sports is a tricky thing. I remember, so in 7th grade, I went out for the Aurora Bulls basketball team, and they played in this very competitive league. I was in 7th grade. The best team in the league was an 8th grade team, and it looked like the Harlem Globetrotters. And the one guy looked like a full-grown man with a beard and muscles, and he could dunk, and the other guys were shooting threes. Well, that guy, that 8th grader, was Chauncey Billups. And he had like an all-star team. He played, I think it's called Hiawatha Davis now. It was Skyline.
Skyline Rec Center. I played my basketball there. I played my little league football there.
Park
Hill Pirates.
So Chauncey, he had a freaking all-star team, and I'm like, well, I've been able to keep an eye on this kid, right? And then he went on to be Chauncey. We were in 7th grade, MCA, which I hung out a lot. He was just, like a administrative guy, right? That was his job, but he wanted to be a coach. And he ran practices like we were a college team. We would run college drills, UCLA off the glass, taking this thing seriously. We had tryouts, things like that. Like, I'd never experienced anything like it before. It used to be, you sign up for, remember, you'd get that booklet in the mail and they'd be like, oh, sign up for youth sports. You'd sign up for youth sports, maybe, Little League, whatever. You may have a practice, kind of a soft practice during the week, right? And then you play your games maybe Saturday or whatever. This was not like that. And we played, and I was used to like, okay, well, maybe you play, I don't know, how many games did you normally play, like, Sean, like 10?
Yeah, if that. I got to actually, funny quick little side story. I didn't do right. Actually, my mom said you can't play, but I was going to my dad's house for the weekend, right?
Ooh.
So I told my dad that I could play because he brought me a brand new pair of kicks to hoop in. So I still ended up going to go play in the game. That was the wrong thing to do, right? My mom, during the week, my dad calls my mom like, hey, do I need to go pick Sean up from Red Shield downtown? Because I'm over that way. And she's like, well, he's done playing basketball. He's off the team. Well, that's impossible because I just took him to his game on Saturday.
Oh, man.
Sean, come in here. Oh, yeah, it was all bad.
Your dad sold you out, man.
It happens. But, that was a lesson that taught me not to play back and forth between my parents. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I am going to finish the story, but yeah, I had my dad do that to me. I've told the story before, but I had this girl that was obsessed with me. And I was supposed to go to the University of Miami, and she changed her name. She took my deceased grandmother's middle name and my last name. She went to court, legally changed it. and would put our names together like I was supposed to go to the University of Miami, and then I chased a girl to Northeastern Junior College in Sterling. And so I didn't go to Miami. She moved to Miami looking for me, got up and moved. And so she gets down there. She can't find me. And she comes, he's up in Sterling. I had to go to court and get a judge to throw her out of town. This coach that was putting us through college level competition practices. Like, we weren't going to be beaten. And we rolled through everybody. And there was a preseason tournament. We had 30 games scheduled. That's like a full college season. And we were in middle school. And so we're just rolling through teams. We just are clicking. Like, we really ran an offense and all that stuff. And then we get to the finals of this preseason state tournament. And we go up against Cherry Creek, which back then Cherry Creek was a monster. They had good players. And all of a sudden we're in a ball. Like we were beating guys by 20 or 30. All of a sudden we're in a ball game. And we won with a shot at the buzzer to beat this Cherry Creek squad. We played them seven more times that year, including in the state championship. We never beat them once. Because once we knew that we could be beaten, it was kind of like Mike Tyson.
So you didn't have a comeback story.
No comeback. Moment. It's just the psychology of things.
Good morning,
And
America.
so with the Avalanche, I'm wondering about their psychology. And now that they've been beaten, like whenever, in fact, his former trainer, Tony Atlas, said the same thing. Or excuse me, Teddy Atlas. Once he got hit, once he got adversity, he couldn't come back, Mike Tyson. He never got up off the deck to beat anybody. And that's what I'm wondering about the Avalanche on that. And by the way, the reason we were talking about the Hitman, I was talking about Zach By being our new, kind of like the Hollywood Hogan WCW style of this season, of the station. And somebody said that on the text line, the fan hasn't had a good heel since the Hitman, Joe Williams. And which I think is not true. I think James Merilatt does just fine on that front.
James is agitating, though. He's stirring the pot with a ladle and a spatula all at the same time. Like, he's just scratching the pan.
Yeah. Now, Joe Williams, as the texter said, he used to say that he was an expert on women, quarterbacks, and the human condition. And sometimes I steal that line because I'm a disciple of Joe Williams, but I never really understood what the heck he was talking about with the human condition.
Yeah, I was hoping that maybe you could elaborate on that for me because, I was going to ask for a friend again, but I didn't want to agitate.
So I Googled it. I said, because what was Joe talking about? I don't even think Joe knows. So I Googled it, and Copilot says, the human condition refers to the shared experiences, emotions, and challenges that define human experience, encompassing both the joys and struggles of life. The human condition is a broad concept that captures the essential experiences, limitations, and drives inherent to being a human being, regardless of culture, era, or circumstances. It includes physical realities such as birth, growth, aging, illness, and death, and mental aspects like consciousness, self-awareness, and reflection, and emotional experiences including joy, love, grief, anger, ambition, and despair. Yeah, that's not what Joe was talking about. Joe has no idea what I just said.
You don't believe?
He doesn't know what I'm like, I don't know what the human condition is. Joe Williams, the expert on the human condition. We love us some Joe Williams. By the way, thank you to the listeners. Last week we did a little fundraiser. Marcia Neville and Mark McIntosh came in. You can still do it, by the way. MSUdenver.me/Irv. MSUdenver.me/Irv. We raised some money. In fact, almost $3,500 paid for a full scholarship in honor of Pat and Irv Brown and the Irv Brown Endowment Fund at Metro State. All right, your last shot to get your licks in. We're going to go out to the YouTube Shop Honda chat line and the RamosLaw.com text line. Final segment of the Dan Jacobs Show next.
The The urgency is real, and the Avs need their biggest stars to respond. Nathan McKinnon, Magnachis, and Brock Nelson have to lead the way as the series heads to Vegas. What's gone wrong for Colorado, and can they flip the momentum before it's too late? Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, Denver's playoff headquarters.
DeerTrailMeatCo.com. Deer Trail Meat Co. Man, I'm reading a text about Cecil. I can't stop laughing. I'll read it in the next segment. It's brutal. DeerTrailMeatCo.com. The parties that we've been having, the graduation parties, experience with those that you love and you care about. I lived through that last weekend. The problem is nowadays with the price of beef and even pork and other meats at the grocery store, you just can't afford to do steaks anymore. Well, you can with DeerTrailMeatCo.com. Guarantee it's a lot healthier. It doesn't have all the hormones and all that junk in it like the big corporate beef. But also I saw a meme last night. It's like, I saved $373 by going in myself instead of letting my wife go in to get milk. Because, yes, you go in and you impulse buy. You don't have to do that anymore. It's right there in your freezer. It's delicious, and it's at a tremendous savings. Check them out, DeerTrailMeatCo.com, DeerTrailMeatCo.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses, plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home and auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
When it's time to sell your home, you hope your agent knows the market, timing, pricing, interest rates, neighborhoods, staging open houses, understanding contracts, completing paperwork. Oh, and can actually help guide you on your big move. Don't hope, know. When you hire a Weichert agent, you can be sure you've got a partner who will guide you every step of the way, from listing to closing and everything in between. Weichert, dream, move, home. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Spine One. Let me ask you a question. You live with back pain, neck pain. Well, my guys at Spine One, they're an emergency room for back pain with same-day appointments. They'll see you and they'll get the journey started. And that's exactly what I did. Whether it's chronic pain, acute pain, work-related, sports-related, doesn't matter. All you got to do is pick up the phone and start your journey just like I did toward pain-free. 303-367-2225. That's 303-367-BACK. Or as always, you can find them online at SpineOne.com.
It's the Honorable Judge Dan Jacobs on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, final segment, but don't worry. We're going to be back at it tomorrow, Memorial Day. Dan Jacobs Show, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So we'll have all the reaction to tonight's game. So don't you worry about that. But your last chance to get in today on either the Hump. Why do I keep saying Hump? Because I can't say Shomp Honda YouTube chat line. Make sure you get in on that action. It seems like we already have like a legend on there. Like people are always talking about this guy, Mel in Denver, and he's our number one fan on the Dan Jacobs Show. But people are like, "Oh, Mel's going to do this." So Mel has got some street cred on the old Shomp Honda YouTube chat line. I'll read this text from Roy Osborne, 1066, who's the number one fan on the Dan Jacobs Show YouTube. Cereal is not a soup. Soup has broth, and cereal has milk. I know. Adam always does this. He's always doing this nonsense with cereal is soup. It's not, dude. It's just not. It's just, don't be silly. You know, notice how he had no response to, oh, yeah, tell me your favorite cereal in the soup aisle. Well, that doesn't mean it's not soup. Yeah, it does. It means it's cereal. It's a breakfast thing. Name all the delicious breakfast soups that you can name off. None.
Is there such thing as a breakfast soup?
My point exactly. Right? My point exactly. All right, so this is funny. By the way, nobody guessed. I read an inspirational message from our leadership here at Bonneville, and I asked you guys to predict who it was. And somebody said Cecil because he's always talking about philosophical things on the show and Japanese things, like philosophy and, like pain doesn't, like you can make it so pain doesn't exist. All sorts of things that blow my mind. I said, no, it wasn't him. And I said, but actually Cecil is a very positive guy. I like him. He's cool to chat with. And somebody says, you're right. Man, this is cold-blooded. This is like one of the best texts I think I've ever had. Cecil is the most positive person. He was even positive about Paxton Lynch. Ayo!
You don't believe?
Yeah, and Justin Fields. No, that's great, man. That's Texter of the Day. Normally, we reserve Texter of the Day for somebody that says, Dan, you're my favorite show on the station. You're the best host on the station. Something like that. But that one, dude, that's the best one I've seen in a while. Cecil is the most positive person. He was even positive about Paxton Lynch. Boom, boom. Ayo. Oh, somebody's saying, I don't know. I'm not going to go to that one. By the way, what did you make of this, Sean? I'm not buying it. When Adam Hill from the Las Vegas Review-Journal said, well, the Avalanche are the better team because they had the best record in the regular season. That doesn't mean you're the best team in hockey. That just means
the Avalanche being they're supposed to be up 2-0 right now. However, being that that's not the case, I think that their confidence is shot. Nobody wants to really diagnose that elephant that's in the room.
Yeah.
I think their confidence is gone.
All right. We'll get to a couple more texts here. By the way, Alphabet Soup is pretty close. One is just broth while the other is milk. Homeboy has a point. Well, because there is Alpha-Bits cereal.
Which I had that cereal back in the day.
Yeah, we all had it from time to time. I don't think it was ever anybody's favorite cereal. If we put the ABCs in the bowl, maybe they'll learn how to read, that type thing. But no, I mean.
Water one time? You talk about soup. Yeah, that was soup.
Yeah. Well, some people will eat grape nuts with hot boiling water instead of milk.
So that's like an oatmeal. Like they turned it into an oatmeal.
Well, grape nuts soup?
Yeah.
If you use it with the hot water and not the milk?
I'm feeling like I'm going back to that day that I had to sacrifice. I had a sleepover. Everybody else had got milk with their cereal. And me being the good host that I am, I had Sugar Smacks with water. Changed my life forever.
Oh, man. That's too bad. Talk about overcoming adversity to grow up and be the man you are today.
That was a hard one. Eating cereal with water, I don't think there's anything like it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, but I guess it's all perspective, I guess. I don't know.
It wasn't in a good way. I haven't had Sugar Smacks ever since.
Really? That was it? You were done. You swore them off.
Done.
Why don't you, tonight, go try get some milk, some whole milk, eat some honey smacks?
No, Sugar Smacks, they had the bear on it.
Somebody says grape nuts is gruel. You know what, though? It's funny, grape nuts, if you really filled them up with milk and then just a ton of sugar, they were pretty good. I mean, they're crunchy and your jaw would hurt if you ate too many, but they're pretty good, you know. Why'd my voice go that high? I don't know. All right, a couple more texts before we get out of here. We got about 3.5 minutes. Man, a lot of Zach By hate.
And see, that's what makes him a heel, right?
Yes.
That's what makes a guy a heel when you get these hate takes on a guy that really, like, I mean, if you met Zach in person, I don't think you would even have those sentiments.
On high. I'm like, what does that even mean? And then I pulled up the text. It's from Brian and Evans, which is really Brian in Nebraska. And it's Zach By's unicorn ribs. It's like a couple racks of ribs all seasoned perfectly and then thrown in the microwave in the air fryer. I guarantee you he'd do that. You know, there's a guy out there, Colin Daniels, used to host the #1 Broncos podcast. It was called South Stands Denver. He's always on social media bragging about his like air fried steaks and stuff. I'm like, dude, how about this? When all the dust is settled on 29's career, I wonder if guys really liked playing with him. So that, of course, being Nathan McKinnon. I've never got the sense that that his teammates dislike Nathan McKinnon. When you go to the games, they have him sometimes they do like these game show bits for like to put up on the Jumbotron or the big screen in between, action, stuff like that. I don't know. I think he's probably well liked by his teammates. It's probably pretty awesome. I mean, I don't know that every teammate liked
Payton.
Trust me, man, I learned a lot more because I did not want to disappoint Peyton Manning.
Omaha!
Yeah. And then he also talked about like what next level football IQ that Peyton Manning had too, which is pretty awesome. All right, so Sean, we're 5 show with Justin Adams and Kyle Reese coming up before the game right here on these very airwaves. You're
picking the Knights tonight. Every time that I've picked the Avs thus far, they've not done what I needed for the home team.
All right, you're taking the Vegas Golden Knights. You're trying to do the reverse jinx.
Absolutely. I'm doing the reverse Zach By.
The reverse Zach By jinx. I'll go down record. I'm Mr. Positive today, and I'm saying the Avalanche, it all begins tonight. One of the great comebacks. Going to do it. It's going to start tonight, 6 o'clock. Listen to the boys before the game, and then listen to the station all day tomorrow, but particularly from 10 to 2 on Memorial Day as the Dan Jacobs Show returns for a third straight day. Great job out of you, Sean Boyd. We'll see you tomorrow.
He's Judge Dan J. He doesn't mean no harm, but he doesn't mind telling you he's right, you are wrong. He's reading your checks, he's taking your calls. It's the Dan Jacobs Show, and he'll decide what the law will allow. He's making your day the only way he knows how, by giving you the facts, cutting through the BS now. He's Judge Dan J. He doesn't mean no harm, but he doesn't mind telling you he's right and you are wrong.
Summer is calling, and we're sending you to the lake in style. Download the Denver Sports app to enter our Day at the Lake contest for your chance to win everything you need for that perfect lake day. You get 2 paddle boards, 2 chairs, a cooler, pop-up tent, and Bluetooth speaker. Oh, and did we mention you also get a $250